and welcome to the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. It's our first round of the season. It's the Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am from Foley, Alabama. Looking at beautiful scenes from the Gulf Coast, but we're inside at the Foley Event Center getting ready for archery. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside PJ Riley. PJ, we're indoors now, but we've had a couple of great days outdoors, haven't we?
I think if folks could see the color of my skin, I am fried like a lobster, but hey, coming from the northeast, this is great weather. 70 and blue skies.
It's been unreal down here. A little bit of rain overnight 2 nights ago, which kind of set some tone, but the sun has been shining, the weather's been warm, and so many people down here. Over 2,000 archers came down to Foley, Alabama to compete, and we're focused now for the next several hours on 6 professional categories.
Yep, we're going to open up with our senior pro. It's going to be followed by senior known pro. Well, let's get to our schedule first here, Greg. This is our schedule for the McKenzie Tour. We're here at the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am. Next up in March, we'll be at the Black Eagle Darton Pro-Am in Russell County. Then the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am, flip those names, at Camp Minden, Louisiana. True Ball Pro-Am, London, Kentucky. Matthews Pro-Am in Metropolis. And we're going to finish it up with the McKenzie Classic in Coleman, Alabama, August 3rd.
So much archery coming at you, both archers that judge distance and archers that use a rangefinder to figure out their targets. But let's take a look. You're talking about it, PJ. We start off with senior pro, then we go to senior known pro, then women's known pro and known pro. Those 3 categories there are all you can use a rangefinder. Then we're going to move some targets and go to women's pro and open pro, which are categories that require judging distance.
Yep, we want to make sure we stress to folks that those open pro, we will move the targets. So we're going to talk about distances in a bit, Greg, but they're not going to be the distances that they're going to shoot.
100%. So the first category we have on deck today is going to be senior pro. This is a category where they have to judge the distance, and this is the way they came off the range. So the current score, 420, 414. Now let's talk about that 400, because 400 is what, PJ?
Par, basically. That means you shot all 10s. Theoretically, that's going to be par. 40 10s, we shot 40 targets, so that would be your 400. Anything above that, you know, we have our bonus ring 12s. That's going to allow you to get above that, what we call par.
So in the group of archers that's coming up, you can see that Tony Tazza was 20 plus.
20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that's a really good score. When you look at the fact that you not only have to execute your shots, but you also have to judge that distance and set your sight to the correct mark. Now, if you look at the known pro category where they can use a rangefinder, of course, the record is 66 up
66.
after 2 days.
And we have a 60 that we're going to see later today coming in here. But as you mentioned, Greg, you know, that judging distance, we do want to mention 50 yards, give or take a little bit, is the max distance that we're talking about here.
So this is the look at the field of play, and from what I understand, archers are ready to go. So let's go to the third member of our broadcast team, Nathan Brooks, who's going to introduce our archers to the field of play.
Welcome, everyone, to the Foley Sports Center. We're going to get the action started here just real quick like. We're going to start off with the senior known pro division, or the senior pro division, from Jetto, Michigan. He's a 12-year pro shooting for Prime Archery, Lauren Lohr. From Clarksville, Tennessee, he's in his 2nd year shooting as a senior pro. Also shooting for Prime, Mr. Richard Teasley. He's from Chillicothe, Illinois, sitting in 3rd place, 14 years shooting as a professional. Shooting for Matthews, Kevin Cook. Your 2nd place qualifier from Shinstown, West Virginia, 5 years shooting pro, shooting for Darton, Harold Cogar. Oh my goodness. I've known this guy a long time. I don't know how I could get his name mixed up, but I just did. Your 1st place qualifier from Boswell, Pennsylvania, 24 years shooting as a professional, shooting for Hoyt, Tony Taza.
So much talent in this field, PJ, and we're looking at Tony Taza.
Thank you, Nathan.
Comes in.
All right,
20
gentlemen.
Up. And here is Mike Terrell.
Place the orange cone in front of your station and leave it there until scoring is completed. We want you to stay on your stake until they've done scoring before you rotate to the next target. Everybody has 1 minute to shoot. The 14 ring is in place, is in play, and it does not have to be called to be counted. All right, you all ready?
All right, PJ, just go over that with us one more time.
Yes, so you can see the orange cone there in front of Lauren, Richard, and I believe I saw a third one out there. But that means that they're going to shoot for the upper 12. When we get a look at the targets, Greg, we'll see the scoring rings. There you go. You can see that small circle in the upper part of the core line there. That's going to be the upper 12. Lower 12 is what is in play if you don't call the upper, and then you can see just high and right of that arrow is that 14. High risk reward there. That's the most points, but you can lose points too.
So they have 1 minute to shoot their arrow, and looks like all shooters have shot it. So we're going to go to our scoring. That's a pretty easy one to call from our perspective. That's a 10.
It's going to be a 10 for Tony.
So what that'll do is that'll move Tony Taza to 430.
Right, and so that's safe, Greg, for him. He's not losing points, not giving anything back. He's got a 6-point lead. We heard Nathan say Harold Cooper. He got that wrong there. I'm sure it's because Nathan's used to calling him Digger. That's what we all know him as.
Yeah.
Digger.
Harold Kogar, safe in the middle.
So they might be calibrating here, Greg. Their first shot indoor. They've been shooting outside, bright sun. This is completely different lighting for them. So
For Richard, he sends it a little right, and that's going to be an 8. And for Lauren Lohr, who's on our Bo Doodle Impala,
there you go.
12. Because he called that upper,
Yep.
PJ, you showed it. He moved that cone to the front of the shooting box, and he was able to make a little bit of ground. So as these archers rotate, so number 1 is going to move to the number 2 position. They'll push everybody over. Number 5 position is going to move to number 1. Our number 1 target is a stand turkey. Our second target is an elevation mule deer. Shibuya coyote is our target in the middle. Then we have a gold tip boar, and then that Bo Doodle Impala that we showed you just a moment ago. So a good look at Richard Teasley, who is his first shoot down.
2 years as a pro, first shoot down. He said he was more than excited to get in here. Richard's a fun guy. If you see him out on the range, he just is always having fun.
And
great to see him out here.
And Lauren Lohr, who obviously just shot that 12, he said that his highlight is getting in the shoot down with Richard Teasley.
I bet it is.
That's outright. You can see the upper right where that 14 ring is, and the big outer ring. That would be 8.
Yeah.
So it's that larger circle in the middle, housing those 3 smaller circles is the 10.
Yeah, and there's us. Well, we'll get scores from Mike here.
So the first target is going to be our stand turkey. That's target, of course, that is built by Delta McKenzie.
And he did not call the upper, Greg, so we saw that one in there. That's why it was just a 10.
Then we move to Tony Taza, who's on the elevation mule deer. Also in the 10 ring.
It's a good look. Harold, a.k.a. Digger.
Yeah.
So that center, Greg, there, that is not a bonus ring, even though it is there. That's not anything extra.
And on that Shibuya coyote, it was called as an upper 12 for Kogar, but it's a solid 10. So now we're going to move on to the gold tip boar, which in my estimation boar is pretty far down there, probably our second furthest target.
Yeah. I believe turkey, we can't see it too well, but I
Yeah,
think it's farthest.
Stand turkey's the furthest. Definitely the Shibuya coyote is the closest. But if you come here to the Foley Event Center, the way that this field of play is designed, it's kind of offset a little bit, and they do that on purpose. So you can see the lines in the middle, but you see the targets are angled a little bit, and that's so it kind of tries to trick the shooters up a little bit when they're judging the distance.
Yeah. These guys are pros, so.
1 minute clock starts now.
There we go, reshuffled the scores. So we've got Tony Tazza still in the lead, 440. Harold Kogar, 434. Kevin Cook, 427. Lauren Moore, 426. And Richard Teasley, 424.
So in terms of positions moved, it's Lauren Moore who's making the moves currently.
Trying to get on that podium, Greg, because it's the difference of thousands of dollars versus $0 in contingency money. He'll win. All these archers will win something from the ASA.
All right, first up, Richard Teasley from the city of 424, 10 bonus rings.
It's a 12 on the stand turkey, I believe. I don't see the cone.
All it has to do is touch.
12.
Yeah,
There
so
it is.
Teasley with a 12.
Good shot from Richard. Big smile on his face. He liked that.
Next up, for Laura. 10 for Laura.
So the elevation mule deer, Greg, that's one of our 2 new targets. Elevation mule deer and the bow doodle impala we'll see in a minute. Those are our 2 new targets this year.
Number 12 is called Scott. 10, Tony.
Tony Tazza in with a 10. That's on the Shibuya Coyote. Now we go to the gold tip boar, which with the lighting here, it can be a little bit tricky. Not as bad as that turkey though. That stand turkey's way out there, and it looks like it's in a dark corner.
Well, the stand turkey, you know, you have the white lines from the feathers. There's a look at the bow doodle impala in the middle there, but that the gold tip boar, there's nothing to look off of. It's just black.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that's interesting here at the Foley Event Center is that the people that run this, you know, put these plants out, which gives it just a little bit different of a look as well. So the way this format works, we're shooting Senior Pro now. These archers came out beforehand, and they were able to take a few minutes to judge the yardage, write their numbers down. Then we're going to transition into 3 known categories where they're going to be able to range find. We know the distances right now, and we'll tell you about those later. But then we're going to reshuffle the targets in terms of the distance away when the Women's Pro and Open Pro categories come out, and they're going to rejudge. So the way the targets are set right now for our later classes, it's irrelevant when we get into the Women's Pro and the Open Pro category.
Harold, little bobble there.
Yeah,
Pulled it
right.
Pulled it right. Good looking shot from Tony. Yeah. Gold tip boar. So yeah, so Greg, you know, you can imagine these guys are out there and they are guessing. Now they've been doing it a while, so they are good at it.
And you
but
would think
they
the top
don't
5,
know the distance.
they don't know the distance. Yeah, they're going off of basically their instincts. It's difficult here because you don't have trees and shrubs and bushes and things, but there are other cues that they can take from.
Yeah.
This is indoor pilot, you know. There's no way to conceal everything that, you know. I don't know if you count bricks or something, but. So 10 for Teasley on the elevation mule deer. Now to the Shibuya Coyote.
It's another 10.
So Lauren Moore, 10. Now we go out to the gold tip boar.
We should mention our Senior Pro. What that means, Greg, is these folks are at least 50 and over.
They appreciate that you mentioned that, PJ.
We are two of them, so we can say.
Yes, we are. I definitely am not good enough to judge distance, so this wouldn't be my class, that's for sure. Senior Known Pro, which is coming up after this, that would be more my speed. If they had a K20.
I was looking to see, and thankfully I see Harold Kogar's got the cheater glasses on there, because that's what we usually see in this division. You know, Richard Teasley's wearing glasses, but we need the readers.
Yeah, exactly, the readers.
There he goes.
It's the binos. Turn the binos upside down and take a look at your sight marks. So there's Kogar. You can see he just took his glasses off and put them on top of his hat.
So this is a new setup we started last year, Greg, but what you're looking at, Harold Kogar on the left, Kevin Cook on the right. We've got the stand turkey on the left and the elevation mule deer. So we're going to watch how these archers, they're going to shoot, and then we're going to see it. Center 10.
You could see that?
I could see that.
It's amazing.
I have my regular glasses on.
All right, so we'll move on to the stand turkey for our first scoring. That's going to be a 10.
That is Harold. So moves him to 454. Oh, 460.
462. 462.
I missed one. Sorry.
Kevin Cook, who's currently in 5th place.
And he got it.
Yeah, he didn't call the upper, so it's a 12.
457 for Kevin Cook. Big bow hunter from Illinois is Kevin.
And anybody within 10 points of our leader is going to go and shoot our last chance archery, last chance arrow.
Oh, there was a 5 from Richard. He's not going to be happy with that.
After that 12, that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
That'll get him to 51. And Lauren Lohr has an 8. So Lohr and Teasley were tied for 3rd place, but now that breaks that tie. So here's Tony Taz's shot, your leader. And he played it exactly the way he needed to on that Bowdoodle Impala. Scott with a little tip of the cap.
We heard Nathan Brooks mention in the beginning Tony Tazza, 24 years. He's been doing this forever. Yeah, so we're going to have 2 archers.
That's right, 3 archers exit the field of play because it's now who's within 10 of Tony Tazza. So for Tony and Kogar, he's just got to go for the 14.
And hope something else happens, because Tony basically, if he hits foam.
So now we're going to roll out the Blessbach. So this is going to be our 6th target that is used for this last chance archery, last chance arrow. And they're just going to put it down wherever they think they want to put it down. What do you think? Here? Is that good? I'm not really sure. How about you? You want to? I don't know. Let's kind of get it in line. What are we going to do?
And Scott Parrott may have them shoot from wherever.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is they're not necessarily going to shoot from an already established shooting box. Scott might just say, go here, and then they're going to have a moment. They're going to be able to judge it, and then they're going to get after it.
Yeah, so by my math, Harold shoots a 14. He goes to 476, which means Tony, I mean, that's the only pressure he can put. Tony would need at least an 8 in order to take it.
Yeah, because if he hits just foam, he's going to lose by a single point.
Right.
If he misses the target, he loses by 6. Do you think, though, the way Tony has been shooting so far, he's got, what, 5 10s across the board?
Yeah. Tony Taz is not going to hit a 5 on this.
Something would really have to go wrong.
If there were someone were taking bets right here, that would be my bet. But we should say, Greg, you know, I have seen archers miss in this building. I still have half of an arrow from Jeff Hopkins when he missed.
Just a couple of years ago. When he came back and made it here.
After the shoot was all over, I went looking for it and I found it. And I still have it.
So now we move to the last chance archery, last chance arrow, and it is a Blessbach. And so Harold Kogar, Tony Taza, with their opportunities, can't talk amongst themselves. They're definitely not giving each other numbers.
Nope.
It's one of the things you'll see if you come to ASA shooting. When you shoot the unknown classes that you're judging, it is a requirement that you actually have something that covers your sight tape so your competitors cannot look at your mark and just kind of cheat that way if you put your bow down.
Yeah. Tony shooting for Hoyt, one of our prime sponsors for this weekend, Hoyt Easton Pro Am. And I think Tony has only ever been with Hoyt. That's all I've known him for my whole life.
I know that hanging around the Hoyt booth a little bit this weekend, when I would come off the field before everyone was finished, they were very interested in Tony and what he was up to. He's so integrated with the company.
Yep. He was a Hoyt rep for years. Now he owns his own shop in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, the archery zone. So Harold up first. So now Tony just needs to hit foam. They are tied.
Yeah, if that's going to be an 8, they're tied. And on 14s alone, Tony's won this tournament. Yeah. Because Tony hit 14, or on 12s. On 12s. He hit 14 12s, and Kogar had hit 9 coming into this event.
Here we go.
What's Tony going to do? Is he going to put on a show? Is he going to go for the 14?
Oh. So Mike Tyrell made one of his offers.
What did he say?
He allowed him, I believe he said, hit it in the eye. If he hits it in the eye, Mike will give away the target. Mike Tyrell.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
And Tony did this last year at Fort Benning with a turkey.
With the neck.
And he nailed it.
He did, right in the neck, right? Okay.
I think he said the eye. We'll see wherever he hits. Oh, there we go.
Anyone can do it in this category. It's this guy.
Right between the eyes.
Just over the top of it.
Knocked the horns off.
He caught foam though. What a gutsy play.
Mike's gonna give it away no matter what it was.
Yeah, he'll give it away.
Yeah, here he goes. He's got somebody in the audience. Here we go. It's an archer who came in 3rd in Junior Eagle. You know, Greg, we should mention we've got all ages out here. Here we go.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us this weekend. And when it's over, you can have your daddy put that target in the back of your car and take it home with you. If it doesn't fit in the car, you may not be going home.
Way to traumatize the youth. You know, by the way, you know, this Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour is just so loved down here by the folks in Foley, Alabama, that there's a survey that people can take when they walk through the door. It's a lodging survey that the Foley Sports Tourism Board is asking people where they stay. This is information that they gather to show, you know, the economic impact of having the Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour in. And the way that they were teasing people up was you were entering to win one of the targets.
Perfect.
Hopefully that wasn't the one.
Yeah.
Mike just gave that
he
away.
just gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So, in rounding out our podium there, we have Tony Taza is going to be our winner. Harold Kogar taking 2nd, and Kevin. Oh, no. Our 3rd place finisher was Kevin. Kevin Cook. That's going to be our podium. 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Tony Tazza, first shoot of the year, and you come out with the big win there. How does that feel, just to knock the rust off?
BJ, it feels awesome. I mean, it's always good. This is such a good group of guys, such a good group of competitors. To get a win like this is just amazing. I mean, you work all winter to try to get things better than they were last year, and it came together this weekend for me.
And it came together nicely, especially because we're not getting any younger. But Tony, let's talk about that last shot. What was the offer on the table, and how did that one feel? Were there some nerves attached to that?
Not really. I mean, it's sort of fun when you're out there to just let one rip and maybe give a young kid a really nice Mackenzie target. So yeah, it was pretty good.
You're 2 for 2 on those, Tony. So when you get out there, boy, the kids are all cheering Tony in the background.
Yeah, we'll take it every time. That's awesome.
Well, way to get it done, especially with this being the Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am. Congratulations, Tony Tazza.
Yep, I can't thank Hoyt and Easton enough for what they do for our sport, for myself personally, and the whole organization here.
Congrats, Tony.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's your senior pro winner with a little bit of fun at the end on that last chance archery, last chance arrow, going for it. Well, some great shooting here, and the order was switched around at the end of the day, but Tony Tazza came off the field, your leader, and is able to wrap it up and take home the victory of our first round of the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. The Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am in Foley, Alabama goes to Hoyt shooter Tony Tazza. More coming at you in a minute. It's the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour, our first round of the season. The Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am from Foley, Alabama, the Foley Event Center for our Pro Pressure Point Shootdown. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside PJ Riley as we bring you the action that began at the Graham Creek Nature Preserve over the last couple of days. And the top 5 from each of these pro categories we're showing have arrived to shoot for the big W, and a good look at the field of play, BJ.
Yep, it is a wonderful field we've got set up out there. The 4 targets you can see on towards the left side. You see the deer with the antlers. That's going to be our elevation mule deer, and on the far right you're going to see our bow doodle impala. Those are our 2 new targets that we're seeing for the first time from Delta McKenzie this year.
But right now we are ready for the senior known pro category, so it's time to welcome our archers to the field of play. Here's Nathan Brooks.
Welcome back to our second round of competition for this afternoon. This is going to be the senior known pro division. Your 5th place qualifier from Big Rock, Illinois. He's 2 years shooting in the senior pro division, shooting for Matthews, Jeff Board. Your 4th place qualifier from New Hill, North Carolina, 2 years shooting in this senior pro division, shooting for Elite, Stacy Yoke. From Pine Hill, Alabama, your 3rd place qualifier, 2 years shooting in the senior pro division, shooting for PSC, Mr. Scott Fletcher. And your 2nd place qualifier from Indianola, Iowa. 14 years shooting as a pro, shooting for PSC, Lynn Hoke. And your number 1 qualifier from Provo, Utah, shooting 30 years in the professional division, shooting for Matthews, Tim Gillingham.
All right, gentlemen. Again, the cone, if you would do us a favor, when you put your orange cone out there, put it to the side of that sign in front of you so they can see it when they're scoring, if you would. 14 rings are in play. Upper 12 is the orange cone out in front. High score wins. Right now, all 5 of our gentlemen are within 10 points of each other. If it stays like that, we'll have a 5-way final arrow. I noticed that Tim canceled his subscription to XM Radio and took off his upper bars.
All right, so we have Tim Gillingham, our leader, on our first target. That's the stand turkey. The 2nd target is going to be the elevation mule deer. Then in the middle we have the Sheboygan coyote, and then the gold tip boar and the bow doodle impala.
Let's a good look at Scott Fletcher, and his archery highlight is making his first shoot down today.
It's awesome. Jeff Borg. He's on the bow doodle impala. He goes for middle. Again, this is the senior known pro, so they're able to range each one of these targets and then let it aim away.
We saw Lynn Hoke there. He's our Vegas champ, correct? Senior pro? No, it was not Lynn Hoke. Sorry, gave that to him incorrectly.
He was leading Vegas.
That's
he was
what
leading
I'm
Vegas
thinking
for
of.
2 days, and then it came down to a battle between him
Keith
and
wanted
Keith
to go.
Trail.
Keith Trail. Boy, I keep shortchanging Keith Trail every time I do this. Sorry, Keith Trail.
See, that's a really interesting one right there, which is it actually touching that line? You'll hear 3D archers say it's pulling the line or not. So they call that one a 10.
There we go.
Yep.
Scott Parrott's very adamant that he says he needs clear evidence that it's out for him to call it out.
And that's a tough one. All right, so that's the elevation mule deer, which for Lynn Hoke. And this is Scott Fletcher, who we saw shoot our first arrow. And that's a Shibuya Coyote, the Coyote.
Look at that. He must be shooting 27 diameter arrows, which are the fattest allowed.
Had he moved his cone, there's a cone right behind him, to the front of the box, indicating shooting for the upper 12, he probably would have caught that. Now here's the gold tip bore, and by the way, this wild boar is sitting 43 yards downrange. And we can give you these numbers because here the next 3 classes are our known categories, and after these 3 classes shoot back to back to back, we'll have a resetting of these targets. The targets will stay in the same. It'll be the stand turkey, the elevation mule deer, the Shibuya Coyote, the gold tip boar, and the bow doodle impala. They're just going to move to different distances around. That's right.
Yep.
So what happens is the archers now have moved over. So Tim Gillingham, who was on our stand turkey, it's kind of middle all the way down there. Really difficult to see.
That is the longest, 47.5 yards.
Love that. He moves to the second position, which is the elevation mule deer. As PJ, you mentioned, it's one of our new targets. So the mule deer is the one on the left. And then you have the Shibuya Coyote, which is our middle target, which is our closest target, by the way, sitting at 33 yards. And from our perspective too, PJ, that Shibuya Coyote, the way the light is, it looks like those rings pop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Lynn can see those.
Even over 50 category.
Even over 50.
We can see that. A good look at Tim Gillingham. That is, ooh, Tim with the big bobble. That's Tim, though. Of note, you see Tim Gillingham shooting the new Matthews title. That is a one-of-a-kind bow for him.
He's the only one.
He's got a 40-inch axle to axle. It's a bow that you probably will see in the lineup next season, next year for Matthews. But right now, Tim's the only one. It's a unicorn, and he's had it for like 7 or 8 whole days, and is our #1 qualifier. All right, so we're going to go to the stand turkey, and the first score is going to be 10 points for Jeff Borg.
Moves him to 442.
Now Gillingham had called for the upper.
Yeah.
And he goes left. 8.
Uncharacteristic for Tim there.
Lynn Hoke, who has just had an unbelievable indoor season, did Lynn Hoke. It's just that last day, you know, in Vegas, indoor at 20 yards, Keith Trail missed like his 5th arrow of the tournament, and then cleaned
never
it.
missed.
And never missed. Won it with an 899. And Lynn had, I think, he'd been clean the first 2 days, and then he just launched 1 or 2 just out.
This is his first time shooting ASA, Lynn Hoke.
Interesting.
Just built a bow a couple days ago. Came out here and made the shoot down.
I think it's a PSE shootdown, isn't it?
It is, correct.
So, good for PSE for naming their bow the way it works. All right, to the bow doodle Impala. Again, PJ mentioned this is one of our 2 new targets for the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro Am Tour. Part of the Delta McKenzie strategy is rolling out 2 targets a year, I think?
Basically, yeah. Now, Greg, I have to mention Stacy Yoke right there. These guys all have interesting jobs, but Stacy Yoke, in my years of doing this, has the most interesting job out here. He tunes pianos.
No kidding.
And I mean, for some of the best piano players in the world, names that people would recognize.
Interesting.
But the first time I asked him, you know, I'm expecting to hear some job I've heard before. He said, "Oh, I tune pianos."
Wow. Interesting work.
Very interesting work.
Archery brings all kinds.
All kinds.
From all over the world, you know, all ages.
Absolutely.
I had a 9-year-old approach me today, and he said, "Don't you do the interviews?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "And I'm curious as to why you're not interviewing kids." And his dad was staring at me, and I'm like, I don't think you're actually specifically asking for me to interview kids as much as you're saying, do you want me to interview you?
I don't like it when kids put you on the spot like that.
That was a rough one.
That's hard to come out of that.
Gillingham with a 2-point lead over Hoke. 4 42s across the board for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Once again, after we get to our 5th arrow, anyone who's within 10 points of the leader is going to shoot for the 6th and final arrow. That's the last chance archery, last chance arrow. So that's the first thing you're looking for to keep yourself in the game. And Tim Gillingham, he did call upper.
Yep.
So Gillingham on that Shibuya Coyote called upper and got upper, making up for that 8 from the target before. So to the stand turkey we go.
This is Stacy Yoke. Center punched it.
Absolutely. He called that 12.
Moves him to 454. Next up is Jeff Borg. Elevation mule deer.
Next up, Tim Gillingham.
Good look at the shot from Tim.
That's going to be a 12.
Yeah, you have to say, when you're as tall as Tim is and you have the draw length Tim does, I think you just call uppers all the time.
Why not?
It's almost like to shoot the lower 12 is almost a cut. You'd have to take a half yard out.
It's like he's shooting at the ground than anything else.
Yeah, Lynn Hoke with a 10. Oh, for Scott.
Scott
Sorry.
no, that was Lynn Hoke on the last one. This is Scott.
It's Scott, yeah, on the Bow Doodle Impala.
Wide
And
shot.
8 for Scott, wide, yeah. Well, that'll break some of our ties that we've had for the 3rd place position. So now we move on to our 4th arrow of 5. And once again, after our 5th arrow, whoever's within 10 points, we get a last shot at it.
There we go. You see our scores have reset. Jeff Borg has now moved up.
So Lynn Holt is in Gillingham's draft. Right now he's 4 points behind. Gillingham moves to what PJ and I think is probably one of the second most difficult target on the course, which is the gold tip wild boar. And the reason for that is because it's just the way the light hits that boar and with no real markings on it, it's really difficult to see. It's very smooth on the outside, like where the scoring rings are. Where you look at this target here, this is the stand turkey, and it's the furthest shot, but at least there's things that define it.
You got aiming references.
Yep.
There's a look at Lynn Hoke's shot on the Bow Doodle Impala, center 10.
Stand turkey's a 10.
Just wide. Moves him to 460. That's going to be an 8 for Stacy.
Yeah, for Stacy. Push that one out wide.
Jeff Borg on the Shibuya Coyote. .457 is going to be Jeff Borg.
Yeah, that's just, well, that's one of two things in this category. Maybe you just misset your sight, or just a little bobble on the release, right?
Center 10 for Tim.
I like that play from Tim just because it's more of a safe play. You know, it's like you're going for the upper, but you're just kind of aiming for that middle ring.
That was a 10 for Lynn to move him to 468. So right now, Lynn Hoke and Stacy Yoke are our only archers within 10 of Tim.
Okay.
Tim Gillingham.
So Gillingham now is on the right side of the field on the Impala, on the Bow Doodle Impala. Borg is on our gold tip boar. So for Lynn Hoke, who's close to Tim, for Hoke, he starts off on a very difficult target.
Yeah.
That's our stand turkey that's at 47.5 yards downrange and tucked away into a nice warm corner.
Yeah, meanwhile, Tim is shooting exactly 10 yards less on the Bodoodle Impala at 37 yards.
So what's at stake for Lynn Hoke? Lynn Hoke is really going to set the pace here, and I'm surprised Tim's not going to at least let Lynn go for it. But Tim's aggressive. If he feels like he needs a 14 to put this away, he might go for it.
Oh, I think Lynn went for it. Or no, that was Scott Fletcher.
Here's Lynn Hoke. Is he going to go for the 14? Tim's already shot, so there's no pressure on Tim. His arrow's already there.
Oh, that's 10 for Lynn Hoke on the stand turkey.
Tim did call upper Gillingham on our Bodoodle Impala.
So Stacy is the other one we need to see.
So our first one's going to be Lynn Hoke, and Hoke is in with a 10. So that'll move him to 78.
478. Scott Fletcher went for the 14 on this elevation mule deer. Did he get it?
Oh. No.
Just missed.
For 8. That could be the difference between a 4th or 5th place finish. On the Shibuya Coyote, the upper 12 was called.
And he got it. Good hit for Stacy. 474. Yep, I believe that ensured that Stacy will be in that last arrow.
Yeah, because he would be within 8 points of Tim with the 10.
All right, Jeff Borg.
14.
Moves him to 471.
And Tim, he did call that upper and got that 12.
Yep.
So that's going to move Timmy to an 84. So who's ever within.
So Stacy Yoke, that 12, kept him in the final arrow. Otherwise, Tim would have knocked him out. Yep.
Tim, by the way, 21 bonus rings.
Let's give him a round of applause.
So we go 84 for Tim, 78 for Hoke, 74 for Yoke. And then, so Borg and Fletcher, they're done. They're going to walk off. Now we're going to bring out our 6th target, which is going to be the Blessbach. Good shot. Our new elevation mule deer. I'm curious, looking at that target, PJ, the way we have it configured with the deer looking away,
Yeah.
is that something that, you know, might affect shooters that maybe judge distance, or, you know, or is it just a focus on the middle part of the target?
You know, these pros are on a different level than me, but I know for judging when I do it, I don't like it when it's not looking at me. I find it easier looking at me than looking away. I don't know, something about just the configuration.
Oh, and that Blessbach took a bit of a hit to the noodle.
Thank you, Tony Taza.
Yeah, if you didn't see our senior pro shoot down that happened just, you know, a little while ago on the Last Chance Archery, Last Chance Arrow, which is what we have right now for the senior known pro category, Tony Taza had it wrapped. He had it wrapped on bonus rings, and so basically Mike Terrell from the ASA said, hey, if you shoot it in the eye, we're going to give this target away to a kid. And he went for it, and that's how much he missed it by, just an inch or two. But he gave it away.
We're still giving it away.
That's right. So a kid got it, and
Young
basically
girl.
yeah. So what happened is that basically if the target doesn't fit in the vehicle on the way home, the kid's got to stay here.
That's right.
Target's going home. Kid. So there's a good look at the Last Chance Archery, Last Chance Arrow. This is arrow number 6. Gillingham, Hoke, and Yoke are the ones that are going to be shooting for it. So, like for Yoke, you basically have 3rd wrapped up, I would think.
Yeah.
Stacy's just got to go for the 14. It's a long poke down there. We don't have the exact number, but because they've moved the box as well, so they're not shooting from the boxes that they were in.
Right.
The target looks to be about, I'm going to go with about 40 yards.
Yeah, it's just in
41,
front of the
42.
turkey, and they have moved up. Yeah, you're probably right.
Behind the turkey, just a smidge.
Oh, is it behind it?
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Stand
I
turkey's
can't
the one on
see
the
right
left.
where it's at.
But they have rangefinders. They know
Yeah.
exactly what they need to do and how to set their sight. See that zoomed in shot right there, little right part of your screen.
Center 10.
Okay. I'm a little shocked, honestly. I thought he would be a little bit more aggressive than that.
I'm gonna guess that it's hard. It was hard for him to see. 'Cause
Yeah.
as I'm looking down there, there's a hard shadow on that.
Well, what we see here at the Foley Event Center is really a place that's designed to have basketball and
Yeah,
volleyball,
right.
and so you have gaps in lighting because it's really designed to light the entire place. And
Right.
where those targets are set are kind of in between, like in a line of no direct light. So yeah, it does look really dark down there.
And that's, the Bless Buck doesn't have good references other than, okay, I'm going to come up behind the leg and go off of that. But at this distance with that lighting, I'm going to guess he couldn't see much.
This is the final arrow for our senior known pro category. Tim Gillingham leads over Lynn Hulk and Stacy Yoke. Stacy Yoke already in the 10, so a 4.94.
Needs at least an 8 to stay ahead of Stacy. So I don't know if he's factoring all that in, whether he wants how aggressive he wants to be. No, and he
might have got that one.
Oh, but he called upper.
He did.
I think he did.
He did, yes.
His
The cone.
cone's out front.
Cone's out front, so he called upper. So that's just going to be a 10. So at this point, that would move Oak to an 88.
88.
So for Tim, foam wins.
That's right. Just got to hit it.
This is. Oh, we got a 12.
Oh, he called it. I thought he put the cone out.
I did as well.
Or, I mean, I thought he.
put the cone
Yeah.
in front of where he was
So
shooting.
did I. I guess not. All right.
Oh, I see. Okay, so down at Tim's feet, there are two cones. There's a number 1 cone and a number 2 cone. The number 1 cone defines where the shooting stake is.
Gotcha.
The number 2 cone is the one for this last chance archery, last chance arrow, where they're saying upper. So Tim has called upper. And there's Tim, unique but very steady anchor. And he sends it just like he needed to.
Oh, look at that. I mean, he got the 8, but that's a bit right of, I'm sure, where he wanted to hit.
Yeah, I'm sure, but all he needed
No,
was,
he did
all
what
he
he
needed was
needed
5
to do.
points to win.
Yeah.
And we here at the Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour, we have something called Shooter of the Year. But Shooter of the Year points are actually defined in the qualification rounds. So those points add up. But once you get here to our Pressure Point Pro Shootdown, the points don't accumulate in terms of Shooter of the Year. So it allows the shooters more freedom to take chances.
He is our defending Shooter of the Year in this division, is Tim Gillingham. So I'm sure that's on his mind. Oh, that's right. Man, I'm off my game today. I forgot Randy Morocco came back on the last tournament at the Classic, and he won it from Tim. Tim was leading in everything.
That's
and
right.
then Randy Morocco. Sorry, Randy. I'm shortchanging everybody today.
That's all right. It's been a long weekend. You've been out on the field a lot. But this guy right here, Tim Gillingham. Well, Tim, congratulations. You got it done, and you got it done with a bow that's a whopping 8 days old. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was it out there?
I don't know. I got a little confused out there because I thought I had a 6-point lead, and the board said I had a 6-point lead, but I guess the scorecard said otherwise. So it was a little tighter than I thought. I mean, I shot pretty good out there. It's a little bit hard to see on a couple of those. I got real close on the turkey, and I hit 2, I think, and then the board is just almost impossible to see anything on. So that last one, I don't know. I let it get away from me. You know how it is when you. I was trying to focus and try at the bottom of the upper 12, and I got a little, you know how it is.
Somewhere in the back of your mind, you knew foam would win it, right? You just
Well,
kind of
not
knew.
foam. I needed an 8, but I mean, I was, I don't know. I kind of messed that up a little bit, but.
Tim, new bow company out there. How does that feel to come out your first 3D tournament with the new bow and take the win?
It feels good. I mean, especially since I've had it since Thursday. You know, there's a lot of things to learn on new bows. This bow holds really well, tunes up really nice. I didn't have long enough arrows for it, so I had to run my overdrove back a little bit, and I think, you know, I'll probably build some different arrows and move it forward a little bit. But yeah, it's a great shooting bow. It's fast, it's quiet, easy to tune, and it's just, you know, it's built to my draw length, which really helps.
33.5 inches in draw length. And Tim, you get it done with a new manufacturer. Congratulations on a big win right out of the gate, round number 1.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that's Tim Gillingham, who walks away victorious in our senior known pro category, and a very entertaining shoot. Well, that'll do it for us for that class, but we still have 4 more on deck for you. Women's known pro, women's pro, and open pro coming at you from Foley, Alabama, and the Foley Event Center. Stay with us.
Sub 4 pounds, 8 feet per second faster. Our goal wasn't just light and fast. It was how light and how fast.
Yeah, buddy.
Paige Pierce, your Women's Open Pro champion. Open Pro champ, Bodie Turner. And our champion, Casey Koffel, LAS Classic champ, Brady Ellison.
Jyoti Benham takes the win.
Nick Cappers, Classic Open Pro champ.
Ryan Jeffries, Mr. Ryan Reed, Chris Hacker, Alan Connor, Benny Barger, and your number 1 qualifier from Voorheesville, New York, Jacob Sluzard.
I thought I could hang with these guys, and I wanted to prove that, but winning after 5 tournaments it's just a lot.
The X-10 is the most successful arrow in competitive archery history, accounting for far more medals than any other individual piece of sporting equipment in Olympic history. Easton introduces the latest innovation of the X-10 lineup, the 4mm Parallel Pro. Parallel Pro offers legendary X-10 precision for all forms of archery. Elevate your precision. Your journey to the podium begins with Easton X-10.
What a shot.
Got it.
Unbelievable. So Kyle needs an 8 to win.
8 to win. Oh, he went right at it.
Enter 10, done. This guy is unreal.
That's it. And he got it. Never play it safe, Gillingham.
I have to shoot the best or there's just no point in doing it. I'm blown away at just how easy each arrow tunes right out of the box. Ultra Arrows, the pinnacle of precision and performance.
This baby's bad.
For more info on the complete 2024 Elite lineup, Visit EliteArchery.com.
Hey, Tony. Wanted to see if you had a couple minutes to go over the new features of the UV slider sight.
I know more than you.
Got a question about archery products?
We can help you get a target bow. Are you looking to get into an Olympic style setup or bare bow setup?
Our customer service and pro shop teams have all the answers.
We'll get these shipped out very shortly for you.
2024 ASA season kicked off in Foley, Alabama at the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am. For 2 days, archers in the 6 pro divisions of the ASA have been battling it out in the pines of the Graham Creek Nature Preserve. Now it's time to come indoors at the Foley Event Center to see who can break through in the pro pressure point shootdowns and climb to the top of the podiums. Let's get the action started right now.
Everybody, welcome to the Foley Event Center here in Foley, Alabama, and this is the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. I'm Greg Wright, sitting alongside PJ Riley, and PJ, here is a look at our calendar for 2024.
Absolutely, Greg. Yeah, we are here at the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am, as you heard. Next up at the end of March, we're going to be at the Black Eagle Darton Pro-Am, Russell County. April, we head for the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am in Camp Minden, Louisiana. June, we've got 2. First, in the beginning of the month, the True Ball Pro-Am, London, Kentucky. End of the month, Matthews Pro-Am, Metropolis, Illinois. And then August, we're going to finish it up with the Delta McKenzie Classic in Coleman, Alabama.
Now we are indoors at the Foley Event Center here in Foley, Alabama, after what has been 2 days of outstanding weather. Over 2,000 shooters arrived down here to compete both in professional and amateur. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Now, PJ, we've had some great shooting outdoors, but here we are indoors, and this really changes a lot of perspectives on how people look at targets.
Totally different coming outdoors. We were out in, bright sunlight, or you had dark shadows. Now we're coming in here, the lighting is even, but it's dark. Totally different game.
And we have 4 categories on deck for you. The first 2 are known and the second 2 are unknown. Tell us the difference between the 2.
Yeah, so we're going to start out with our known distance. So these folks are going to come out. They're going to be able to use rangefinders to know the exact distance of these 5 targets. And then we're going to stop. We're going to move all the targets, because we're going to talk about distances, move all the targets to get different distances. And then our unknown archers are going to come out. And basically, Greg, they're guessing. They're good at it, but in the end, they're guessing how far it is.
No rangefinders allowed, no cell phones allowed either. They're going to have a piece of paper in their hand. They're going to write down what they think those distances are, set their sight, and then go for it. But of course, you've got to keep in mind that we also have a 14 ring in play. Tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely, Greg. So our scoring is 5, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Only in play here in the finals. It's a little ring sitting out in the edge of the 8. So if you miss it, if you hit it, that's the most points you can get. But if you miss, you're going to drop to either an 8 or a 5.
And we'll have more on that a little bit later on in the show. But PJ, this is it. The first of the season, first of 6 that we have. Yeah. How important is it for you to come out of the gate and put a stamp on it early?
I mean, I would think that these archers want to get a jump out. We have what's called Shooter of the Year, Greg, which is the overall points leader at the end of the season. They get to drop 1 score, but, those points are important. And so I would think you want to come out. It's better to come out, I would think, from ahead than to be behind and trying to play catch-up.
Yeah. And, of course, we put something together to really show you what the hype is all about when we come to the first Delta McKenzie ASA of the season.
Indoor season is over. The sun is shining. It's outdoor season. So it's time for 3D. Let's get it. Shoot up!
It's that China white with the arm and hammer. Mr. Automatic, I need all the cameras. Hit the game with some new approaches. Got 300 styles and they all adaptive. Not 21, but I've been a savage. Rolling with the punches like the money team. Day to day, keep it to myself. Cause the cup they sipping ain't my cup of tea.
We're in Foley, Alabama for the first stop of the 2024 Delta McKenzie Tour.
First tournament of the year outside for 3D, there ain't nothing better.
And this is the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am, and this takes place perfect time of year. One of our premier venues. I think it's one of archery's premier events just because it takes place in February in Foley, blue skies, 70 degrees. And when people ask, I talk to them about ASA, they say, where should we go if we can only go to one? Foley is usually the answer.
The friends, the family, the food, the weather, this is what I love about 3D season.
The facilities over my right shoulder here, you see the event center. That is where we do our finals on Saturday evening. We've got the OWA complex behind us. Got a bunch of restaurants in there. There's an amusement park, theaters, great place for family. Our qualification and match bowstring team shoot, they take place at Graham Creek Preserve, which I'm not even sure how many hundreds of acres it is. Every year we come down, they seem to be adding to it. It's just an amazing facility. One of the really unique things about the Graham Creek Nature Preserve is that one day you might be shooting in some old pines where it's relatively open, some undergrowth, but you can experience wind and elements and sun and shade. And then the next day you might be in the timber. So we've got quite a diverse ecosystem here that we get to set our ranges up in. So the new targets for 2024, last year we saw the large alert deer and the black buck go away. And coming in this year, we've got the mule deer and the impala. So those are our 2 new targets for 2024. Registration for this event, we're seeing record numbers pre-registration each day. We're already over 1,500 pre-registered. We expect to see that number go up exponentially. So one of the unique things about the ASA, you can register anytime up until you start to shoot. So as long as you have time to get the registration into your stake, you can register. And with all those people registered, we've got nearly 500 people. I fully expect us to surpass 600 people that participate in the match bowstring team shoot, which kicks off our event. That's where we pair amateurs and pros and people of all skill levels together to compete for a cash prize.
Are you kidding me?
After 2 days of qualification, our big show takes place in the event center behind us, and that is our first shoot down of the 2024 season. That kicks off all the festivities for the year, and we're expecting a great show, as always, here in Foley.
And nearly a record number of shooters, over 2,000 shooters came out here to participate. And moments ago, PJ Riley and I were talking with you about the scoring rings here in Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. So let's get to the third member of our broadcast team, Nathan Brooks, who has more.
For those of you joining us and are unaware of exactly how we score these targets, this is the Delta McKenzie mule deer. This target has scoring rings on it. You can see these all throughout the target, but they all constitute a different point value. So anywhere in the animal is 5 points. Inside of this ring, this big ring here, that's 8 points. So most of the archers will be shooting at this ring. This is the center ring. This is the 10 ring, and it has what we call an upper 12 and a lower 12. The archers will have to call for the upper 12 to get the 12-point score. They will automatically get the 12 on the lower without having to call it. And the big prize possession that they're all actually looking for is this one right up here. That's the 14 ring. And the reason why it's so valuable is because, number one, it's worth 14 points, but it also really, really increases the pressure on the archer, because if he misses slightly, it's 8 points. If he misses even bigger this direction, it's 5 points. So this is what these guys are going to be trying to hit, and this is the target that'll make or break them.
Thanks so much for that, Nathan. And yeah, the 14 ring makes a huge difference, especially if you're coming from behind or if you're leading the way and you want to take the risk and try to distance yourself from the rest of the competition. That's the way to do it. 4 classes on deck. We'll return for the 2024 Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am in a minute.
Sub 4 pounds, 8 feet per second faster. Our goal wasn't just light and fast. It was how light and how fast.
Yeah, buddy.
Paige Pierce, your Women's Open Pro champion. Open Pro champ, Bodie Turner. And our champion, Casey Koffel, LAS Classic champ, Brady Ellison.
Jyoti Benham takes the win.
Nick Cappers, Classic Open Pro champ.
Ryan Jeffries, Mr. Ryan Reed, Chris Hacker, Alan Connor, Benny Barger. And your number 1 qualifier from Voorheesville, New York, Jacob Sluzard.
I thought I could hang with these guys, and I wanted to prove that, but winning after 5 tournaments it's a lot.
The X10 is the most successful arrow in competitive archery history, accounting for far more medals than any other individual piece of sporting equipment in Olympic history. Easton introduces the latest innovation of the X10 lineup, the 4mm Parallel Pro. Parallel Pro offers legendary X10 precision for all forms of archery. Elevate your precision. Your journey to the podium begins with Easton X10.
Oh, what a shot.
He got it.
Unbelievable. So Kyle needs an 8 to win.
8 to win. Oh, he went right at it.
Enter 10, done. This guy is unreal.
That's it. And he got it. Never play it safe, Gillingham.
I have to shoot the best or there's just no point in doing it. I'm blown away at just how easy each arrow tunes right out of the box. Ultra arrows, the pinnacle of precision and performance.
This baby's bad.
For more info on the complete 2024 Elite lineup, visit EliteArchery.com.
Hey, Tony. Wanted to see if you had a couple minutes to go over the new features of the UV slider sight.
I know more than you.
Got a question about archery
We
products?
can help you get a target bow. Are you looking to get into an Olympic style setup or bare bow setup?
Our customer service and pro shop teams have all the
We'll get
answers.
these shipped out very shortly for you.
Today's range is new. I heard that they were more recently cut, and as you can probably see behind me, there's a ton of cover and undergrowth, and so the targets are a little bit darker. We're also starting a lot earlier this morning, and we're starting on the backlit side of the course.
It's going to be hard. There's a lot of good girls shooting in this class, so I'm excited.
Some business as usual in the women's known pro category, and PJ Riley, here is a look at how they finished coming off of the range.
Absolutely. We've got Paige Pierce, the venerable Paige Pierce. 444 is our leader, followed closely by Tanya Galantine, 434. Danielle Woody at 430. Morgan Reeves had a big day today to get to 424, as did Caitlin Boardwell to get to 422.
And we look at 400 points as par, so we'll say that Paige is 44 up. But now it's time to get competition underway. So let's welcome our archers to the field of play. Here's Nathan Brooks.
Welcome back to Foley Sports Center here, and we're going to get the action started this afternoon with the women's known pro class. Your 5th place qualifier from Tully, New York, 7 years shooting as a pro. Shooting for Hoyt, Caitlin Boardwell. In 4th place from Natchez, Mississippi, 4 years shooting as a pro, and she shoots an elite bow, Morgan Reeves. Your third place qualifier from Elkton, Maryland. Second year shooting as a pro, also shooting an elite bow, Danielle Woody. And in second place from Winchester, Kentucky, 7 years shooting as a pro, shooting a Darton, Tanya Gillantine. And your first place qualifier from Red Bluff, California, 14 years shooting as a pro, shooting for Bowtech, Paige Pierce.
So archers are going to make their way to their shooting box, and Paige will be in our first shooting position. That's a stand turkey. And then as they qualified in 5th place, we go all the way down to our Bodoodle Impala. And now it's time for these archers to get out the rangefinder, have a little look at their sight tape and their marks, and they're going to make adjustments. And as Katie Bordwell's taking a look through the binos, she's trying to figure out where to shoot.
Absolutely. And Greg, she's looking down at our Bodoodle Impala, which is 37 yards out. Paige Pierce is starting out on the longest target. That is the stand turkey at 47.5 yards. Tanya Gillantine looking down at the elevation mule deer. That's 40 yards.
1 minute to shoot the arrow. Most archers are just going to get after it straight away, especially in this known pro category. And then once arrows fly and all 5 have shot, we're going to get to our scoring. A good look at Gillantine, who has been shooting 3D for a couple of years now, even before the women's no pro category was in play. And as soon as it was a pro category, she jumped right into the class. So we'll get to our first scoring target. It's the stand turkey, and it's Paige Pierce.
Greg, when we talk about Paige Pierce, we have to mention last year, Paige Pierce, there were 6 tournaments. Paige won all 6. She was our shooter of the year, obviously.
Yeah, and our benchmark.
To come in with a 10-point lead, I mean.
Now that was a close one for her, though, for Paige.
Yes,
I mean,
it was.
She almost gave 2 points back to the rest of the field. And so she didn't quite do that. It caught the line. And there's another solid 10 on the elevation mule deer for Tanya Gillantine. Then we move to the center target. That's our closest target, 33 yards.
33 yards.
On the Sheboygan Coyote.
Danielle Woody. Danielle Woody takes it 12.
Nice shot.
University of the Cumberland's archer is Danielle Woody.
Representing the up-and-comers in archery.
She is. Morgan Reeves as well, also young archer.
Of course, for Danielle Woody, she made the shoot down here last year as well.
Yes, she did. Katie Bordwell takes an 8 on the Bodoodle Impala.
So now the archers are going to shift. PJ, tell us about it.
Yes, so we've got 5 targets out here. Paige was our #1 qualifier, so she goes to #2. Katie Bordwell was down at target #5, the Bodoodle Impala, so she loops around and comes back to #1. And essentially, Paige being the top qualifier, she'll never have to loop around. She just shoots 1 through 5.
And you can see the targets on the bottom of your screen in that innermost ring, the larger ring that encompasses those 3 smaller rings. That is the 10 ring, and that's what most people just kind of say, all right, 10 is par. And they shoot 20 arrows, 1 arrow at each target in day #1 of qualifying, and then do it again this morning. Get up at 7:30 or get to the range at 7:30, start flinging arrows. So the par, or even, is 400 points, and that's why we saw Paige Pierce at a 444 with 26 bonus rings. So that means that she shot 112, 1-8.
1-8.
Yeah.
For 40 targets. That's a good weekend. And their courses were stout. There's Danielle, just shot a little bit right on that gold tip bore.
Second arrow done and dusted to the stand turkey.
Oh,
just high.
Katie bored well.
Going for that 14.
She definitely did.
Why not? She's in that position. She was
Yep.
6 points back after the first arrow. You just got to start gunning for it. Scott and Ken are our scorers out there. So a 10 for Paige Pierce on the elevation mule deer. Galantine, her shot on the Shibuya Coyote.
Just missed. Oh, that's close.
She did call the upper.
Yeah. Yep, that was just out.
Yeah. So you can see that in that moment, Tanya was actually reaching down. There's a cone at the feet of each archer, and if they want to call the upper 12 ring, they've got to reach down and put that in the front of their shooting box and leave it until their arrow is called. So that way the judges can see what they called. The bottom 12 is always in play, as Nathan Brooks told us earlier.
That was an 8 for Danielle Woody. Now to Morgan Reeves. 12.
Yeah, 12.
Moves her to 448 is Morgan Reeves.
So now for Reeves, she moves to one of the more difficult. We're having a debate in the booth here as to what's the more difficult. The turkey's hard to see, but it's 47.5 yards downrange. But there are at least some marks and some ridges, I guess you could say.
White feather marks, paint.
But that 43-yard wild boar, the gold tip boar, is, even archers have said, it's one of the more difficult ones to shoot at because it's hard to see anything. So Reeves gonna have a look. Again, minute on the clock. So what we see is,
there you see her clicking her sight, Greg, just getting that number right. What she's doing is turning a little dial, and that scope moves up and down to the distance that she wants to shoot it, to where she can aim right at what she wants to hit.
Boardwell already shot. She got really aggressive on it. Tanya Galantine, if it's not feeling right, she lets down. That it could be an 8, or if it's touching that line, it could count as a 10.
Tanya Galantine had a big indoor season this year.
She sure did.
Winning the Lancaster Archery Classic and
Vegas.
She did win. Okay. I've been giving away titles all day. Wanted to make sure I wasn't giving that one away.
So Morgan Reeves already with 2 12s. Called the upper 12 on the stand turkey, and it just sails a bit wide.
456 for Morgan Reeves.
I like Morgan's aggressiveness, though.
I imagine Katie's doing nothing but shooting at 14s. Yep. She just can't find him.
Not yet. Katie shooting skinnies, too.
Skinny error, yeah.
Paige Pierce in our middle target. That's the Shibuya Coyote. Pretty easy 10.
Now here's Tanya at the gold tip boar. There we go.
Yep. And on this one, she did not call the upper. She did in the last one.
There it is.
12. Gets a couple back on our leader.
466.
That'll close the gap to 8 points.
What's Danielle? Looks like a center 10 here.
So we'll rotate one more. So we have 2 more arrows left in this pro pressure point shoot down regulation arrows.
Regulation.
So
yes.
then what happens? We have the possibility of going to 6th arrow, but why?
So anyone within 10 points of our leader, if no one is within 10 points, which is still possible, then the person who is in the lead just wins outright. But anyone who is within 10 points, we shoot our last chance archery, last chance arrow to give us a 6th arrow. And as it stands right now, yeah, Paige and Tanya would be in our last arrow.
Wouldn't surprise me if Paige maybe took a breath and let Tanya shoot before she makes a decision on what she's going to do. The right side of your screen, just out of your picture, Gallantine's already back at full draw as we look at Reeves and Woody.
Yeah, we see the targets that they're going to be shooting underneath. Well, to Morgan Reeves, it's the one to her left. She's shooting at the elevation mule deer. Danielle Woody at the stand turkey. And we're going to see exactly what they hit. Oh, Morgan Reeves went for the 14. The elevation mule deer. Danielle Woody. Is that full draw? That's a long hold.
Ooh.
Oh, got it.
And she did not call upper.
Got it.
Now, I can tell you down at the right, Gallantine called for upper. And she may have caught it on the Bo Doodle Impala. That
Paige just, that's going to make it as a 10, I believe. But Danielle Woody, I want to see this because this is the longest target on the range, Greg.
What a shot. Too easy in the 12 ring.
Come on.
We have not seen a lot of those this
day. No fear.
And she's like, yeah, all right.
I meant to do that.
Like, elevation mule deer for Morgan Reeves. Outright in the 8 ring.
It's going to move her to 464. There's Katie Boardwell on the gold tip, or no, excuse me, the Shibuya Coyote.
All right, now up front, this is where things are getting interesting. Oh yeah, they're having a look still at the Shibuya Coyote. So
She's
that's an 8.
Still gunning for those 14s.
So now let's transition over to the gold tip bore where Paige Pierce kind of let one drift a little bit left.
Again, as we were saying, hard to see.
No, yeah,
but
hard to see
she
the target.
Got that.
Yeah, she did
That's
get it.
a 10.
And I think she's going to be a little relieved on that one.
Yeah.
Because that would have been quite the point swing. Because I think, as we get to our last target here, the Bo Doodle Impala, that Gallantine did call the upper, and she
there we
got
go.
it. So that's 12.
Yes.
So that's only 2 points. And
478.
Yeah, that could have been a 4-point swing. So Gallantine's getting in the draft of Paige Pierce, but time is running out.
Time is running out.
So now what happens is Gallantine moves to our stand turkey. This is one of the most difficult of the 2 difficult ones we have. It's the longest poke, but at least it has some definition to it. Where for Paige Pierce, she rotates to the Bo Doodle Impala, which the Bo Doodle Impala is how far away, PJ?
37 yards.
And it's got some definition, the color of the target with the overhead lighting. So Gallantine, I think at this point, she only has a 6-point advantage over Woody, so it's a question of, do I try to go for a 14, the impossible 14, and take the risk and possibly slip down to 3rd? We'll see what the dart shooter's going to do against this Bowtech shooter right now.
And we see Paige's unique setup there with her stabilizers. There's no other ladies out here doing that, and that just helps her get that balance. She likes that weight away from the bow. And as you can see, look at that front stabilizer. That's what we look at to see movement, and it's just not moving. Oh, just over the 12.
Yeah, she didn't call up her, so that would have been in play. Gallantine on that stand turkey.
There's Katie Boardwell. Danielle Woody coming to full draw. She is on the elevation mule deer.
Hinge release, rotating through the shot.
Oh, center punched it. Are you kidding? Danielle Woody is an assassin out there.
Absolutely. Aggressive and hitting them. Stand turkey.
Oh, this one's close, Greg.
For Gallantine. I can't see if she didn't call upper. So she called
No,
lower.
the cone's behind her. I see it.
Oh, I don't think so. It's so hard with that seam right there.
That seam, I think. Ah, 10, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
That
I
seam kind of showed you.
The heartbreak is more for the score than it is the call. I think, we all knew that it was just a smidge outright. Do the elevation.
No question here.
Easy.
484 for Danielle Woody. Oh, and here we go. There's Morgan Reeves.
Morgan Reeves going for the hot one.
Good
14.
for her.
and smoked it.
478 for Morgan Reeves.
What's Woody have?
Danielle Woody is at a 484.
484.
Yep.
So again, it goes within 10 points as we've shot all 5 of our arrows in this pro pressure point shoot down, the women's known pro category here at the Foley Event Center in Foley, Alabama.
If this is just a 10, then Danielle Woody's going to stay in. Yeah.
Yep. So we should see 3 shooters. Okay.
She just made it into
the final
last
arrow.
chance arrow. Last chance archery, last chance arrow.
You got it. So 494 for Paige Pierce.
Yeah, so our podium's going to finish. Morgan Reeves going to finish in 4th at 478. Caitlin Boardwell 5th, 459.
So now we're going to bring out the Blessbach. And where they're going to put it is completely and utterly irrelevant.
We don't know.
Yeah. We do know that the antlers are a little, wow. All right, if you're just joining our broadcast here and you're looking at this Blessbach, these are brand new Delta McKenzie targets each tournament. That right there,
Look at
PJ,
that hole.
PJ, tell us about that hole in the head of that Blessbach.
In our senior pro shoot down, Tony Tazza was our leader, and basically he didn't have to shoot the last target. He could have not shot it and he would have won. Mike Tyrell gave him the option of, hey, if you can hit this thing in the eye, I'm going to give this target away to a kid in the audience. Tony just missed it, hit it between the eyes, but Mike Tyrell gave away the target anyway.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of entertainment, a lot of fun, and Tony Tazza had a big smile on his face. Now here's the shot.
There it is.
There it is. We brought it back from earlier in the day. This was a couple hours ago, and that was that close, but it was still good. So back to live pictures with Danielle Woody. And so what's going to happen now is they've placed the last chance archery, last chance arrow Blessbach in the position, and now Scott with the cones in his hand is going to really pick a place to shoot. You don't shoot from the boxes necessarily that are already on there. And so each one of these archers, they're going to get an opportunity to range find it and then look through the binos, and then we're going to go 1 arrow each. And there's a 10-point lead for Paige Pierce over Danielle Woody. And it's just a slim, and I say slim, 488 to 494. We're talking 6 points here for Galantine. So I think, PJ, a 14 is going to put some pressure on. And this doesn't look like an impossible 14 ring, bonus ring shot from where they are.
If I'm Danielle, I'm shooting at the 14.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose at this point. You've got guaranteed third. Is that right? Are you guaranteed third?
She is guaranteed third, yes. At worst.
Yeah,
Can do no worse than third.
Exactly. And I'm going to throw a guess out there.
Go ahead. What do you got?
35 yards, 37 yards. What do you think?
Looks like, so the Coyote was 33. Yeah, you're probably right, because they kind of shifted off. Now they're shooting diagonally.
It's hard for us to tell in our position, but it's not the longest shot you've ever seen.
No.
So her 1 minute clock has started.
I am going to bet that the Woody family is at home watching this, because I don't believe she has them here.
Just her boyfriend Clay.
Boyfriend Clay Weaver's in the audience.
With 35 seconds to go.
Oh, just under it. Oh, good try.
Yeah.
Her left, right was perfect. Just under. I think I heard her say I couldn't see it.
That would make a lot of sense. These targets look so different in the bright sunlight than they do with this overhead lighting here.
And our lighting is even different. Like what they see is not that.
For sure. All right, so for Tanya Galantine, she's 6 points behind Paige Pierce. So let's talk about risk reward and what happens here.
Yeah, I mean she can.
If she
shot an 8, so she just needs to hit foam to take second place.
Okay.
To finish at second.
A 14.
It puts. I mean, that's the most pressure she can put.
Yeah, a 14 would bring her within. Paige could shoot a 10.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Galantine does. I think it really depends on how good her vision is on this target and what she's willing to risk. If she's able to.
A 5 and she stays where she is.
Right. Money.
Oh. Which is what she shot. Yeah, I don't think she could see it either. Oh, that, I don't know what she was shooting at back there.
14 way to the
Whoops.
right. I mean, the elevation was perfect.
Yeah.
It was just drifted off to the right.
Must have been the wind.
Well, the other thing, too, is, yeah, it must have been the wind. Well, the AC is blowing in here. The
That's
AC
right.
is blowing. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, that was an unusual shot.
All
No.
right. Let's see what Mike Tyrell does here. Here we go.
So Paige is 1. 494 to 493 to 492. That's your podium.
You don't have to shoot the Blesbach. You shoot the Coyote. If you hit it in the head, I'll give it away to a kid. No. You don't have to hit anything. You already won. Hit the Coyote in the head. And then go find a kid to give the target to. After we're done, of course.
All right, so the Shibuya Coyote has got a bounty on its head. Paige is going for it, obviously. I mean, she's re-range find it. She's setting her sight, and she's going for it. At this distance, though, to be honest, they just took the head off the Coyote. They just slid the head off. And the crowd loved that one as well. I don't know. If I was Mike with the level that Paige shoots, I probably would have been more specific. Like, you take the nose off, if you take the eye, if you get it in the ear. The head this is a slam dunk for Paige.
Hey, Paige is a youth favorite, so
That's
I'm
true.
sure she is loving every second of this.
Too easy.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I thought she might go for the eye. So for some young shooter in the audience that Paige gets to pick,
Yes.
they're going to get to go home with the Coyote target.
Absolutely.
So the Delta McKenzie Shibuya Coyote, we're going to still use it for the rest of the day, so that's going to have to happen after. So there'll still be, another 15 plus arrows shot into the Coyote, but a very slightly used Delta McKenzie Shibuya Coyote target for one youth, and we'll see what Paige ends up doing.
So
And
there she is right now, picking her winner.
Oh.
Of course it's a young girl.
Of course it is. So she just won herself, courtesy of the ASA and Paige Pierce.
Courtesy of Paige Pierce winning her 7th ASA in a row.
Unbelievable.
That's just going back to last year. I can't remember what she won the year before that. So she's going to come over and get the headset on, Greg, and we're going to ask her about this big victory.
I think, PJ, in all the years that I've been around Paige, you would have to say that one of the most pressure shots she ever had to take in her entire life has to be the shot that was just taken. Right,
there
Paige?
she is.
First of all, congratulations.
Yes,
what a
congrats.
win.
I was so happy he picked an animal with an eye I could actually see.
Yeah, I know. If he would have gone for the boar, it would have been pretty miserable, I would think.
Or even the Blesbach.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations. Big win. Tell us about your round. How did it feel?
Oh, we couldn't see anything. That's what we were discussing out there. Until I shot the Impala, I hadn't seen like a 10 line yet, which I'm used to seeing. So it was kind of guessing a little bit, which obviously being out there and in front of the people and it being the final, that's not what you want. But the lighting is just different indoors. You lose the clarity of the target.
Paige, 6 for 6 last year. You won all 6. Now we're coming into 2024. 7 in a row now. How does that make you feel? That streak.
It makes me nauseous. It's stressful. Honestly, every time, like the pressure just builds and builds and builds. So, yeah, it's going to keep building, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep working at it and try to keep the streak going.
All right, well, Paige, congratulations on winning this and being the benchmark for all of the women's known pro category.
Thank
Great
you guys.
job.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so Paige Pierce, comes away with the win and is able to give away a nice gift of one Delta McKenzie Shibuya Coyote to a young fan, and I'm sure their family appreciates it. And you never know, the fan she gave that target to could be the champ in a few short years. We have more coming at you from the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. The Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am is happening right now, and Known Pro is on deck.
Ryan Jeffries, Mr. Ryan Reed, Chris Hacker, Alan Connor, Benny Barger, and your number one qualifier from Voorheesville, New York, Jacob Sluzard.
I thought I could hang with these guys, and I wanted to prove that, but winning after 5 tournaments it's a lot.
The X-10 is the most successful arrow in competitive archery history, accounting for far more medals than any other individual piece of sporting equipment in Olympic history. Easton introduces the latest innovation of the X-10 lineup, the 4mm Parallel Pro. Parallel Pro offers legendary X-10 precision for all forms of archery. Elevate your precision. Your journey to the podium begins with Easton X-10.
Paige Pierce, your Women's Open Pro champion. Open Pro champ, Bodie Turner. And our champion, Casey Koffel, LAS Classic champ, Brady Ellison.
Jyoti Venom takes the win.
Nick Cappers, Classic Open Pro champ.
Sub 4 pounds, 8 feet per second faster. Our goal wasn't just light and fast. It was how light and how fast.
Yeah, buddy.
I have to shoot the best or there's just no point in doing it. I'm blown away at just how easy each arrow tunes right out of the box. Ultra arrows, the pinnacle of precision and performance.
I thought I put a lock on that thing.
Here you go, Tony.
Who told you to bring me these? These are not going to work for indoor arrows. I want you to bring me all the Tac Driver 375s we have.
Okay.
Wait. I want to make sure you understood. All of the Tac Driver 375s we have.
Okay.
The MTO team at Lancaster Archery Supply is always ready to custom build your arrows for hunting, competition, or backyard fun.
So Foley's kind of a cool one. It's the first ASA of the year down here, warm weather, you know, all of us guys up north in the snow and stuff. So I think a lot of it's kind of like a good family event. Everybody comes down, goes to the beach, have some fun, and enjoy the weather and stuff. So plus everybody's kind of sick of indoors this time of year, so everybody's wanting to come shoot some 3D.
2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour here at the Hoyt and Easton Pro-Am in Foley, Alabama. And here is a look at the known pro and how they came off the range. Greg White sitting alongside PJ Riley. Talk to us, PJ.
All right, Greg, let's remember that 400 is what we consider par. So there's Kyle Douglas at 460, 60 up. Ace Coleman right behind him at 458. Jimmy Lutz at 453. Aaron Shaw 452 and Stefan Hansen 456. Those scores are unreal.
And for Hansen, he had to get into 5th place in a shoot-off with Louis Price and was able to get it done. And so he is in the show. Well, it's time for us to welcome the archers to the field of play. So here is the third member of our broadcast team, Nathan Brooks, who's going to introduce him.
All right, we're going to continue the action this afternoon. Moving on to the known pro division. Your 5th place qualifier from Nuuk, Denmark. Shooting 10 years as a professional. Shooting for Matthews, Stefan Hansen. And your 4th place qualifier from Willard, Missouri. This is his rookie debut as a pro, shooting for Elite, Aaron Shaw. And your 3rd place qualifier from Montello, Wisconsin, 5 years shooting as a professional, shooting for Matthews, James Lutz. Your 2nd place qualifier from Paris, Tennessee, 1 year shooting as a pro, shooting for Hoyt, Ace Coleman. And your 1st place qualifier from Liberty, Utah, 8 years shooting as a pro, shooting for Matthews, Kyle Douglas.
All right, so we're back, and we are known pro. This is the hot category with the highest scores without question. I mean, in terms of popularity, yeah, and you have such a variety of shooters that started out as a spot shooter, consider a spot shooter, and 3D shooter, a mix of young and experienced as well. And this class can get crazy in a heartbeat.
I think we're going to see a few 14s shot at this time, Greg.
I think so. I think what we've learned so far, though, with the classes that we've had so far here, PJ, is vision's a real problem with some of these targets. So that's really what it's going to come down to is I think if these archers feel confident they can gun at 14 and see it, they're going to go for it. And there's the first one.
Stefan Hansen, Bo Doodle Impala.
Oh, and just outside.
That was Aaron Shaw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was the elevation mule deer, so that was Ace. That was Ace. And there is it.
That's Kyle Douglas.
And I don't see it. Looked like
the cone was behind him, so I'm pretty sure he moved it out front.
Okay, so for Kyle Douglas, looks like he called the upper, as did Jimmy Lutz on the Shibuya Coyote. So first, we're going to go to our stand turkey. He center punched the upper 12, and he called it, so he got it.
Yep. Okay.
So Kyle Douglas coming out of the gate, trying to put his foot on the gas.
Greg, that 460 mark that he came in with, I mean, that was the record prior to last year, and now it's like you have to shoot 460 to get here.
464 is the record for Ace Coleman. Bit of a bobble for our 2nd place.
66 actually is our record by our next archer here, Jimmy Lutz.
66 is the record. 64, I believe, was Brent Platt. That was done in the same weekend.
In the same tournament. Mm-hmm. And that same one, Justin Hanna shot a 60.
Unreal.
Here we
How
go.
About that? That's an easy 14 in archery.
Got it. Lutz, all right. Now, Greg, we look at his number. He's the only one with an odd number. He's got a 453. That means he shot a 5 in competition and still put up a 453.
And he shot that 5 when he was leading in qualification yesterday, and I was on the range when it happened. He takes it in stride.
He does.
But he was definitely not thrilled about that. So this one we're looking at is definitely out of a bonus ring, but it's a question if it's going to be a 10, or sorry, an 8 or a 5.
That's an 8 or a 5 for Aaron Shaw. And Aaron Shaw, I want to mention, you know, this is his rookie season, and he's up there. What I like is he won his first ASA in youth pins. So this is a kid who has come up from youth, and now here he is on the big stage.
Okay, so you saw Stefan Hansen walk by Jimmy Lutz, and he actually said something to him. Probably good shot, because these two are good friends.
Yeah.
But they are not friends when it comes to wanting
right
to win.
now.
and to be completely frank, I would have to say that in the target world, Stefan Hansen has probably got the hottest hand right now with the worst luck.
He can hit anything when he wants, and then just.
I mean, just, right? The finish. It's been the finish.
In the shoot-off that he had to win to get here, they put a dot in the center of the 10 ring, and he hit. It's closest to the center. He hit the dot.
Yep. So the archers shifted. So basically, Kyle Douglas, who was on our stand turkey in the first position, he shifted over to the elevation mule deer. Shaw, who started off on the gold tip boar, moves to the bow doodle impala.
Just missed.
Yeah, Lutz has got that long distance throw, and that 8 hurts. But it's a matter of people have said they just cannot see the rings down there.
Yeah.
From our vantage point with our camera, it looks great, but from where the archers are standing, and that wild boar, the gold tip boar, is 43 yards.
Look at this.
Range.
Look at this, Greg.
This is the stand turkey, and it's
14.
a 14 for Hansen.
For Stefan.
He's trying to roll from 4th place. Cool, calm, and collected. And he has enjoyed the switch to this new Matthews title. And there's an upper.
Kyle Douglas.
Yeah,
Yep.
he called it.
484 for Kyle Douglas.
Now he moved to the Shibuya Coyote. And for Ace, he was going for it. And 8, he just missed it.
One of the coolest names in archery, I think.
Ace Coleman.
You're an archer, and your name is Ace. You're just built to be out here in the final stage, I think.
Absolutely. For Lutz. Just a bit outside. Yep, I don't think there's any question on that. Unfortunately for the Wisconsin resident, he will log an 8. So now where Jimmy was trying to get points on Kyle Douglas, now he's got to be thinking about Hansen coming up towards him. Because if you look at like where Stefan Hansen is versus Jimmy Lutz, that swing of 14 to 8, that's a 6-point swing. So another rotation on target. Lutz will go to the Bowdoodle Impala, which is sitting about 37 yards away. It's a lighter target, so it's easier to see the rings. For Hansen, he goes to our elevation mule deer. It's also kind of grayish more than it is.
Yeah, and the 14 ring on this is big.
It is. Okay.
I promise you he's shooting at that 14. He's hit 2 of them already.
He's going to have a second go at it with his rangefinder. This is the known pro category. This is the final category that we have today in the Hoyt Easton Pro Am here for the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro Am Tour. We're going to be judging distance. The 2 classes after this are going to be unknown, so we're going to have a break after this where targets are going to be moved to a new location, and we're not going to know the yardage. So Hansen using a thumb trigger, taking his time, sends it.
Oh,
interesting.
Went for center.
He did call the upper. That's a 27.
Yeah.
There's a possibility he could be pulling that 12 line. Ace Coleman with a 10.
Wow, that surprises me that Stefan did not go for that 14. He mustn't have been able to see it too well.
Lutz might have got a 14 down on the Bowdoodle Impala.
Yeah.
How about
Here's
this?
Aaron Shaw.
Aaron Shaw,
There
14.
we go.
That is 47.5 yards down. It is in between the row of lights. It's a hard one to see, but it is the stand turkey, and the turkey does give you some definition.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was Hansen. And see, that's what I was talking about with the 27. If you're in between there,
he got it.
He called the upper, and he got a 12.
All right. All right, he didn't go 14, but he got a bonus.
For Kyle Douglas?
He's at the closest.
Yeah, it's the closest one. It's a light target.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, it's never a slam dunk, but for someone at the shooting level of Kyle Douglas.
For him, that's a slam dunk.
It's a layup.
So we know Stefan's going to shoot at that, too. Here comes Ace.
All right, Ace Coleman. I think the hardest thing for Ace Coleman coming in here in his second year is obviously he comes in second place, and he's slipped down to 4th right now. And he'll be thinking about, I like the aggressive nature, but we'll see if in 14 for Lutz, as I called it.
Yes.
That was a good 3/4 shaft in, so no dramas for him. But now Lutz is going to move to that long 47.5-yard stand turkey.
Take a look at this, if my math is right. Yes. Stefan Hansen climbing quickly. Remember, he started in 5th.
So he is 12 points away from Kyle, which we only have 2 arrows to go in regulation. But Lutz is definitely within range.
And Stefan is now on the shortest target at the Shibuya Coyote at 33 yards.
We'll have another look at it. The clock hasn't started yet. It's a 1-minute clock to execute your arrow, and there it goes.
Kyle Douglas, on the other hand, is now on the 43-yard wild boar that's been giving everybody problems. Oh, Hansen's arrows away. Kyle, okay, he called upper, got the upper.
Yep, sends his gold tip arrow down the gold tip boar. He's able to get those points.
He's just smashing it.
Looks like a 10 for Jimmy Lutz on the turkey. So here we go to the stand turkey. We think looking down there, I think Hansen definitely smoked that Shibuya Coyote. We'll see.
Here we have Aaron Shaw went for the 14 on the elevation mule deer. I think he's a little wide. Yeah, they pulled
5.
that quickly.
Yep. For Hansen, now here's the one. There's the shot from Stefan Hansen.
Here we go.
He sends it, and it low.
Oh, what's that line doing,
That's
Greg?
left. It's left, but if he pulls.
Oh, look at that line.
That's a huge call right there. The line is definitely pulled towards the arrow. The question is, does he actually catch it?
Oh, there's a bubble hole right there.
Yeah.
This is the quirky. Nope. There we go. Nope. He meant 8. It should have been an 8. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Stephen was like, wait.
Whoa,
Hold on a
whoa,
second
whoa,
here,
whoa.
folks. It's bad, but it's not that bad. To the gold tip, boar.
Meanwhile,
12 for Kyle Douglas.
Meanwhile.
Yeah.
Boy. Unbelievable.
Ace Coleman on our Bo Doodle Impala.
There we go.
Great shot. There
Way
you
to
go,
go,
Ace.
Ace.
Crowd likes that one.
So Kyle Douglas, we should mention, Greg, he is our 2-time defending champ shooter of the year in this division. 2-time.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that's a monumental accomplishment in this class. It's so deep. The competition is so stiff. To do it twice in a row, that just shows you what level Kyle Douglas is. He's got 2 Vegas championships, 3 national indoor championships.
He can shoot everything.
He can shoot it all.
So 5'10", 499. So an 11-point lead for Kyle Douglas. And keep in mind, this is the final year of regulation. If Kyle Douglas ends this with more than 10 points, he's the outright winner. We don't go to the last chance archery, last chance arrow.
And right now, Ace Coleman and Stefan Hansen flipped Ace bumped Stefan off the podium right now.
Jimmy sends it. 12.
Now, what did Ace? Oh, no, he didn't shoot yet. So Stefan's on that gold tip bore while Ace is on the stand turkey. So the two of them are on difficult targets. The two most difficult.
Yeah, the Bodoodle Impala 12. That was Kyle Douglas, and he did call up
10. What did Ace do? Ace looked like he was in the 10 vicinity. He could have got a 12, but
we'll go to Ace first on the stand turkey.
Yeah. This is for podium position. This is a big arrow. Oh, he got it.
He got the 12.
There you go. Ace Coleman.
That's a bounce back.
That is. Nerves of steel. Look at him.
Call that starting off slow. So Jimmy Lutz to the elevation mule deer. Going for that 14. I think it's just north.
It looks like it. They're giving it a look.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's pulling it, but.
Oh, wow. Scott Parrott is going to give him every chance that he can. But if he's got clear evidence, it's kind of funny because the target kind of curls up and the arrow is kind of pointed down, which that's what I was thinking.
Boy, that is just a 0.5 millimeter miss for Jimmy Lutz. So now we go to Shaw. Smokes the 14.
Got it. Got it.
That moves him up to 498. So Stefan Hansen. Not much of a look on that one.
What?
And a 10. So 504.
Yeah.
Now Kyle, he's going to set the tone here. Is anybody within 10 points of Kyle Douglas after this one? And he called upper.
That's going to be it.
And got upper.
Yep. That's the show.
522 for Kyle.
Oh.
And so it looks like.
Oh.
Ace Coleman
Hear
and
that.
Jimmy Lutz have tied.
Tied on score and
bonus
rings.
rings.
So Kyle Douglas is our champ. We want to make sure we get that squared away. It's rare that we have this type of tie.
And what,
not for first.
Right, and what PJ's talking about is 507 is the score, but generally what defines them is the bonus rings, meaning anything, you know, if they hit a 12 when they're out on the range, and in here, they count them all. And the fact that they tied on bonus rings.
So this is over 45 targets.
Yep.
They're tied on bonus rings.
They were tied on bonus rings coming in, PJ. So Ace Coleman came in here with a 458 with 30 bonus rings. Jimmy Lutz comes in with a 453 with 30 bonus rings. So they hit the same amount of bonus rings in here as well.
Crazy.
But their scores are now tied.
Yeah.
So Lutz was able to make up 5 points on Ace Coleman because Ace had a couple of bobbles there at the beginning.
Right.
So for our outright winner, sitting at 522, it's going to be Kyle Douglas. He'll take the outright win, but we still have to determine what's going to happen. What are they doing?
We see Josh Grind there, or is that Ken? No, that's Josh Grind. So what he's doing is he's scribing a mark. Watch this, in the very center. That's our ASA president, Josh Grind. He's going to mark a dot because they need something to measure from. You know, what's the center? Who could see it? Well, he's going to make a center, and then we're going to shoot at it, and the closest one to that mark is going to be our winner. So he's trying to get exactly what is the center. He's going to put a dot there with his Sharpie, and so there it is.
Okay.
Oh, he didn't like that one.
Yeah.
Look, you can't erase that. We know which one it is.
Yeah, we definitely know which one it is, and it's definitely smaller than a 27 diameter arrow.
Yes, it is.
So this is the time when you pull your favorite arrow out of your quiver.
Gotta have it.
That's one thing to know if you're not a 3D shooter on the regular, and if you're new to the sport. You want to shoot all your arrows and figure out which one is your favorite, which one is your Billy Baru.
This is
Billy,
it.
Billy. And this is exactly why you have a favorite arrow. And by the way, I will say this. If you're in our qualification rounds, if you're shooting on Friday, shooting on Saturday, leave your favorite arrow in the quiver because it will get beat up. You leave it for this particular moment. And there's some shooters that'll tell you, PJ, all of them shoot the same. No way. No.
Greg, if Mike Tyrell could have heard your Caddyshack reference, he would appreciate it immensely. Big fan of Caddyshack is Mike Tyrell.
Thanks, PJ. Ace Coleman up first. He came in here in second place. Only 2 points behind Kyle Douglas now, fighting for a podium spot. Is it going to be third? Will it be second for the young Ace Coleman? Oh, and that is a good shot.
Oh, just to the right.
Might be
definitely left room. So they'll measure. He should have calipers, I believe, and they'll pull that arrow, so there will be no arrow in there for Jimmy. Yeah, there we go.
I have to say, though, when it comes to these type of situations, I'm going to say that Jimmy Lutz has a bit more experience than Ace Coleman.
Yeah.
Jimmy Lutz, world champion in world archery. Of course, he's on the United States USA Archery national team. Very successful in indoor shooting as well, and 3D. Your record holder.
Our record holder here in this division, 66.
What's the max you can possibly get?
Let's see.
80?
80.
Unreal. Here we go. This for second place. Oh, and that looks about as equidistant as you can get.
Man, if he's going by the edge of the shaft,
you
that's
think?
a tough one. I mean, from the edge to the center.
Yeah.
I think Ace
Jimmy
might have it.
I think Jimmy's going to have it.
You're calling Jimmy? I'm calling Ace.
Calling Jimmy.
He's sticking with the first one.
Right, so it's that center spot that he marked second, and that is a closer arrow. That's a closer arrow to me.
Do we know?
589 to 660.
We're going to need Scott Parrott to make this one. He's holding.
We're waiting to hear.
First arrow
wins, so
Ace
Ace
Coleman. Oh.
That is quite the bounce back. He shifted all the way down to fourth place and was able to, just in the last 3 arrows, battle his way back into second place. And he will definitely remember this one. A commanding win from Kyle Douglas, but Ace Coleman on the last arrow in a shoot-off is able to get it done just ahead of Jimmy Lutz, and that'll be your podium. But Kyle Douglas.
Here we go.
Heading to the headphones.
Here's Kyle Douglas over at our headphones. And we are going to get a word from him. Kyle, can you hear me? Oh, we haven't quite. Oh, there we go. Kyle Douglas. All right. Our known pro champion. Kyle, how does that feel?
That was a good one. That one felt really good. I went out there and kind of executed my game plan perfectly. So I can't ask for a better weekend.
Came in here at 60 up, Kyle. I mean, 2 years ago, that would have been a record score, but now it's like that's what you have to do in this class.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous how many guys have got that 60 up mark now. It used to be like almost unattainable, and now it seems like that's kind of the status quo.
What are your thoughts on kicking off the year with a big win, setting the tone for the rest of the season?
That's awesome. It feels good to start off the first ASA with a win. You know, it's been a rough weekend. My grandpa passed away Thursday night while I was out here, so kind of feels cool to be able to do that and know he's watching down on me.
All right, Kyle.
Sorry to hear it for you, Kyle. Sorry for your loss. Definitely, we're all thinking about you and your family, but congrats on a big win here today.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Kyle Douglas with the big win. He'll take home some big money and that tan he's got going on back home with him as he thinks about his grandfather who passed after a long battle with dementia. And Kyle able to gather it up and come away with the win. Well, we're going to reset these targets. And when we come back, we're going to get after the women's pro category. And all these targets are going to be set at different distances. And now it's time to guess the yardage and put that sight mark on and get after it. Don't go away. We'll come back the Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour, the first of 2024, after this.
Ryan Jeffries, Mr. Ryan Reed, Chris Hacker, Alan Connor, Benny Barger, and your #1 qualifier from Voorheesville, New York, Jacob Sluzard.
I thought I could hang with these guys, and I wanted to prove that, but winning after 5 tournaments it's a lot.
Paige Pierce, your Women's Open Pro champion. Open Pro champ, Bodie Turner. And our champion, Casey Koffel, LAS Classic champ, Brady Ellison.
Jyoti Venom takes the win.
Nick Cappers, Classic Open Pro champ.
Sub 4 pounds, 8 feet per second faster. Our goal wasn't just light and fast. It was how light and how fast.
Yeah, buddy.
I have to shoot the best or there's just no point in doing it. I'm blown away at just how easy each arrow tunes right out of the box. Ultra arrows, the pinnacle of precision and performance.
The X10 is the most successful arrow in competitive archery history, accounting for far more medals than any other individual piece of sporting equipment in Olympic history. Easton introduces the latest innovation of the X10 lineup, the 4mm Parallel Pro. Parallel Pro offers legendary X10 precision for all forms of archery. Elevate your precision. Your journey to the podium begins with Easton X10.
This baby's bad.
For more info on the complete 2024 Elite lineup, visit EliteArchery.com.
Oh, what a shot.
Got it.
Unbelievable. So Kyle needs an 8 to win. 8 to win.
Oh, he went right at it.
10 or 10, done. This guy is unreal.
That's it. And he got it. Never played safe killing hand.
Hey, Tony. Wanted to see if you had a couple minutes to go over the new features of the UV slider sight.
I know more than you.
Got a question about archery
We
products?
can help you get a target bow. Are you looking to get into an Olympic style setup or bare bow setup?
Our customer service and pro shop teams have all the
We'll get
answers.
these shipped out very shortly for you.
Hey, Tony, we just got a new sight in. We need a product video on it ASAP. I got an appointment. I'm not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to do it.
I have 50 other things to do today, and I have to do your job too. This is a sight. You put it on a bow. It has 3 pins for aiming. Is that good enough?
Shop Lancaster Archery Supply for all your archery needs. We've got the gear, we've got the knowledge, we've got the passion.
Oh, I thought I put a lock on that thing.
Here you go, Tony.
Who told you to bring me these? These are not going to work for indoor arrows. I want you to bring me all the Tac Driver 375s we have.
Okay.
Wait. I want to make sure you understood. All of the Tac Driver 375s we have.
Okay.
The MTO team at Lancaster Archery Supply is always ready to custom build your arrows for hunting, competition, or backyard fun.
in most cases, you have a lot of foliage that you don't see up north this time of year. So, but I love Foley. I love coming down, seeing everybody, and I think it's a record number of attendance this weekend, so, which is absolutely awesome.
All right, we're back at the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am. It is round one of the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am here in Foley, Alabama. Women's Pro. I'm Greg White, sitting next to PJ Riley, and here is how they scored coming off the ranges.
Yeah, Greg, so it must have been a packed, a difficult range today because these ladies, there was more of them on the plus side yesterday, but Cara Kelly is coming in with our leader at 4:01, followed by Sharon Wallace at 3:99, Kaylee Pettifer as well 3:99, Melissa Kilburn 3:94, and Emily McCarthy 3:93. So that's a tight race from top to bottom there.
And if you're joining us, you saw that the first two classes we had were our known categories. So you can basically just hit the rangefinder and you can look at the target. This is totally different.
Correct. They're out here. You see them right now. We're in our judging period, and you can see the guys coming out. So these are our Open Pro competitors as well. So everybody's going to judge now. They're going to take their time, go through the field, look at each target. There's Levi Morgan, our leader in Open Pro. They're going to go look at these targets, get a feel for what they believe these distances are. I mean, these are the best in the world, Greg, at figuring out these distances. However, none of them are, there's no certainty here. Because if they're off by a yard, I mean, that can be the difference between a 12 and an 8.
You know, actually, you say that, PJ, so, you know, one of the things that ASA has is a speed limit rule because people are so they vary in size,
right.
They vary in poundage, they can pull back and everything else. So there's a speed limit deal. There's a reason for that. Why?
Yeah, so the speed limit is in these classes, it is a speed limit of 290. Actually, for the women, it's less. I believe it's 280. But they set that to kind of even the playing field. We're talking about arrow speed here is what we're talking about. Because the faster an arrow goes, the less it's going to drop. So by having that speed restriction, you're basically leveling the playing field. I mean, you look out there, Cara Kelly is very short. Sharon Wallace is tall. I'm sure Sharon's draw length is longer. So it's going to be easier for her to shoot faster arrows.
Well, you can see Danny McCarthy on the left side. Just next to him is actually Levi Morgan.
Yeah.
And the draw length, the draw length difference there is significant. And of course, draw length just automatically adds speed to the equation. Now, there is still an advantage to being a shooter that has a longer draw length, meaning that one way you can slow your arrows down is to add weight to it. And what that does when you're shooting in those qualification rounds is it can be very punishing to the arrow.
Yes, definitely. Those scoring rings, if they get packed and your arrow is light, it can hit the back of an arrow and glance pretty far out. However, you're Levi Morgan and you're shooting that big heavy arrow, it's probably going to go through whatever it's hitting.
Now, this is the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour, and this is our first event of the season. PJ, take us through the calendar.
All right, so here we are. You can see us at Foley, Alabama at the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am. Next up in March, we're going to be at the Black Eagle Darton Pro-Am in Russell County. That's in Alabama as well. Then we're at the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am, Camp Minden, Louisiana in April. June, at the beginning of the month, True Ball Pro-Am, London, Kentucky. End of the month, we're at the Matthews Pro-Am in Metropolis, Illinois. And then we're going to finish it up in August with the Delta McKenzie Classic in Coleman, Alabama.
I like this calendar as we wrap up a little bit earlier in August than we have in the past. We go kind of deeper into August. And honestly, Coleman gets a little toasty that time of year either way. Yeah, a little bit steamy. So Levi Morgan, who you mentioned is the slim leader in the Open Pro category. Yeah. And he definitely wasn't the leader yesterday.
No.
And what was interesting, PJ, is in my conversation with him after he came off the range today, he said actually he shot better yesterday and had better marks yesterday.
Yeah.
But he just battled his way through it and was able to come out on top.
Yeah, he had mentioned that he shot his bow extremely well yesterday. didn't catch a couple that he needed to catch, started off on some shorter ones, finished up on some longer ones. That all plays into the game, but he was obviously able to pull it together. I think that's one of the dangerous things, is to have Levi back in the pack after day one, because then what's coming on day two.
100%. Plus, there is a battle for Shooter of the Year. Explain what Shooter of the Year is in ASA.
So, Shooter of the Year in all of our divisions, pro and amateur actually, the Shooter of the Year is basically our points leader. So we have 6 events, and you're going to take your qualification scores. None of what we're doing here counts towards the Shooter of the Year. It's what they do in qualification out on the ranges, and at the end, you're going to be able to drop one score, obviously your lowest score, and the overall cumulative points leader is our Shooter of the Year. For instance, in these 2 classes, we've got Dan McCarthy was our Shooter of the Year in Open Pro, Cara Kelly in Women's Pro.
And really, if you look at the Open Pro category, Danny McCarthy and Levi Morgan have, the last 16 years, I think? 17 years possibly wrapped up?
Yeah, correct. No one has won it besides either of them in, I believe, 17 years.
Yeah. So much experience. And look, I think there's 2 schools of thoughts when you come to known pro and open pro, or just known categories and these open or judging categories. Some archers feel like it's 2 jobs. First job is judging distance, second job is executing a shot. And part of the reason why you see it's varied over the years, hasn't it? There was a surprising number of archers that actually registered for the Open Pro division, and it looked like for a little while it was shrinking, and all of a sudden now we see this resurgence in people wanting to judge distance. It's kind of very interesting.
It is. There's also a reason for that, and it's people like Kyle Douglas and Jimmy Lutz.
True.
So if you want to go over to known pro, you got to be able to hang with some of the biggest guns in archery. And so here, some folks feel like they may have a better chance. We saw a look at Jack Wallace, who is in 2nd place here in the Open Pro, coming into the Shootdown here, and it's good to see Jack out there. Jack Wallace is regarded as one of the best judgers in this game, and he struggled last year. He had difficulties, just couldn't break through and put together 2 solid days at any of the tournaments. Now here he comes out, he's shooting a new bow, shooting for PSE, and 2 solid days did Jack Wallace have, and he's sitting 1 point behind Levi Morgan.
And you could see there that whole time that Sharon Wallace, she's just looking down at the floor and then drawing a line to the target, down at the ground in front of her, drawing a line to the target. There are a variety of ways to judge target distances, isn't there?
There are, correct. Some folks are going to come up and just look at the target, judge by the size. They've looked at it a million times. They can tell by the size of it about how far it is. Some look at the ground and try and mark off, okay, here's 5 yards, 10 yards, 20 yards, and so forth down to the target. Lots of ways they make that happen. Some do a combination of all of them. So it's kind of a, whatever works for you.
Now, look, we don't know the distances that the targets were reset at. What we do know is, just from looking at it, what looks to be the longest and what looks to be the closest. But moving from left side of the field to the right side of the field, the first target we have is actually a stand turkey. Then we have the elevation mule deer, a Shibuya coyote, a gold tip boar, and a Bowdoodle impala. And one of the things with the targets being moved around that's going to be very interesting for us is how these archers are going to react to, like, say, the stand turkey, which was set really far back, has now moved closer, but it's also in a better lighting position than it was as well.
It is.
And so it's really interesting that any of the information that the classes before this class had, none of it translates.
No. And we're looking down, I'm looking down at the boar, which is the gold tip boar, and that one is out there. And
it's out there.
Actually, Greg, it's still out there. I think the lighting's a little better.
I would agree with you, actually, just from our position, our point of view. Well, did they flip that boar around as well?
And they flipped it around.
So
heads
that's
pointed the other way.
Yeah, heads pointed the other way. So that's obviously a difference in the way that that's going to play. And really what you need is, you see the lines that are in the contour of the body, but you got to really be able to define what's going on and where to actually shoot.
So that's one of the things that you can see on that board that you can use as reference is that, you know, you see the 10 ring that Nathan Brooks explained, and then there was the 8 ring out of that. There's a line in between there. That's what they call a core line. That's not a scoring ring. That's basically so you can take that section out when it gets all shot up and replace it. But the line that is formed there, that's not any kind of scoring line.
So less than a minute remains for this judging period. So we mentioned you can see that Jack Wallace in the center part of your screen is a pen in his hand, a piece of paper. Yeah. There's no phones allowed here. There's no rangefinders, obviously. This is what we're doing. And this is a big part of the game. And, you know, we have seen in past, even here, archers miss. We've seen it here. We used to go to Texas. I've seen it miss in Texas before. You know, there's been some arrows that have hit the back wall. It does happen. Normally it happens, I would say, PJ, less on a misjudge and a little bit more on a I forgot to set my sight properly.
Correct. Yeah, these folks are all using similar sights in that you set it to the distance, and what happens is your scope that you're looking through moves up and down on a vertical rail. So obviously, you know, at the shortest target, it's going to be high. The longest targets, it's going to be low. If you forget to set that and you went from a short to a long target, you're going to miss.
So you saw that 2 categories we're judging. It's our last 2 here in Foley, Alabama at our first round of the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. It's the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am event. And it's Women's Pro will shoot first and then the Open Pro. So the men will have some time to kind of sit and ruminate on the distances that they had. But for the women, they were able to get their sight marks and what they think the judging distance is going to be. And they're going to get ready relatively soon to come on out here and shoot.
Yeah, we're gonna, you can see Scott Parrott out there making some adjustments to our range. There's a good look at our audience there, Greg. You can see we've got a fairly packed house here at the Foley Event Center. Lots of spectators come out.
And look, I'm getting an indication that these women are ready to go. So let's go to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Nathan Brooks, who's going to introduce our archers to the field of play.
Okay. Let's get started here with the Women's Pro Division. Your 5th place qualifier from Wazeeka, Wisconsin. 12 years shooting as a professional. Shooting for Matthews, Emily McCarthy. And in 4th place from Louisville, Ohio, 8 years shooting as a pro, shooting for PSE, Melissa Kilburn. And in 3rd place from Dublin, Georgia, 13 years professional, shooting for Matthews, Kaylee Pettifer. And your 2nd place qualifier from Townville, South Carolina, shooting 16 years as a professional, shooting for PSE, Sharon Wallace. And in 1st place from Lapeer, Michigan, 21 years as a professional, shooting for Matthews, Cara Kelly.
So much talent in this women's pro category, and we're getting ready to kick things off here. Your number 1 qualifier, Cara Kelly, is going to be sitting on the stand turkey. In 2nd place, Sharon Wallace on the elevation mule deer. Kaylee Pettifer on the Shibuya Coyote. That's the middle target. And then the gold tip boar, that's going to be Melissa Kilburn. And Emily McCarthy is going to be in our right position on the Bowdoodle Impala.
So Sharon Wallace's birthday was either yesterday or today. I can't remember which it was.
Well, happy
so
birthday.
Happy birthday to her.
100%.
Look at Emily. Boom. Smoked it.
Yeah. And she did not call the upper. The cone is in place. And there's actually a cone that's down at the feet of the archers if they want to call the upper which Kaylee Pettifer did,
Sharon
as well as
Wallace
Sharon
got it.
Wallace.
Oh,
so
yep.
upper Sharon Wallace actually called the upper on the elevation mule deer. But we go to our first target, which is the stand turkey. And that's going to be Cara Kelly.
Center 10 for Cara.
Keep in mind, Cara's only got a 2-point lead, so she definitely can't put the thing on cruise control.
This is 8 points from top to bottom, Greg. This is going to be a good race.
For Sharon Wallace on the elevation mule deer, she did call the upper 12, so that is going to be a 10. For Pettifer, she called the upper 12. Kaylee's a shooter, man.
Good to see Kaylee back. She started the year last year and then had a baby and so missed many of the tournaments. Now she's back.
Middle ring, which here in ASA only plays as a 10. It's the top and the bottom ring, which are 12s. But the bottom ring's always in play. You have to call the 12.
Alyssa Kilburn took an 8 there. That's going to move her to 502.
And now we go to Emily McCarthy on the Bodoodle Impala. And she
there we go.
Let that 12 play. And I think this is what we'd see from Emily if she's really feeling confident, especially if there's good vision with these targets having moved.
They said Mike Tyrell said she's our bonus rings leader coming into this.
So Emily McCarthy, she had 11 bonus rings. She did. And she has that odd number 2, so there was a 5 at some point, right, with a 93. So to give you an idea, Cara Kelly had 7 bonus rings. And of course, the bonus ring indicates those 12 rings when they're on the field. But here, you have the 12 and the 14. So let's take a look at Cara Kelly on the left part of your screen, shooting at the elevation mule deer. And then right next to her on the right is Sharon Wallace and the Shibuya Coyote.
She looked at the screen for that one. Kaylee Pettifer, I may have referred to her as Kaylee Johnson, which was her maiden name. She is Kaylee Pettifer now.
She won plenty when she had the last name of Johnson, too.
Yes, she did.
It's a good shot from Pettifer. To the stand turkey.
That's Emily. 4:15 for Emily. Now we come to Cara for the elevation mule deer.
Center shot.
Center.
That'll get you 10.
421. Now Sharon. Just 2 points back. She is on the Shibuya Coyote. That's also a 10. Now we come to Kaylee. She's on that long boar, which is the gold tip boar. Let's close. She did call upper.
And if she gets it, that's going to tie her for the lead.
Wow, that is close, Greg.
PJ, that's a tough call right there. I don't want to be making those calls.
No.
I mean, to someone like me.
Oh, 10,
yeah,
says Scott.
someone like me, I was going to say it's out.
It looks like it, yep. So you're saying I don't want to be in your group then? No freebies from Greg White.
Spot shooter, what, you know? Touch the line, you don't touch the line. Although I did have a ton of fun shooting here on Thursday team rounds.
That is fun.
And a 10 for Melissa Kilburn.
So, Greg, you mentioned the team round. So that's something that happens Thursday at the ASA, that matches where amateurs get to shoot with the pros for fun. There is money on the line, but this is about fun. And there were almost 700. It was a new record, 700 archers shooting the team round.
Every range was full.
Packed.
I think Mike Terrell said they gave away over $10,000 in prize money.
Unbelievable.
And look, there's a class for you. There's a class for everybody here at the Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am. It's pro and amateur, so to check it out. Take a look
Age,
at that calendar.
equipment,
Oh yeah, barebow,
gender, we have it
barebow,
all.
recurve,
Yeah.
hunter
Crossbow,
setup,
hunter.
crossbow. It's, yeah, it's across the board. And then you get to hang out with these top pros as well, especially
Sharon.
those that are working booths.
Sharon Wallace is a staple of the team shoot. She's always out there competing with somebody.
There's a 1-minute shot clock for Kaylee Pettifer. There is 21 seconds remaining as she goes to full draw. Plenty of time. She's, yeah, sorry. She had,
due to Impala. We're going to say the same thing.
just smoked it high. That was Melissa Kilburn shot on the stand turkey. That one looks like it's going to score, yeah, easily as a 10.
4:22.
So we're 3 arrows in, and fortunately for Kilburn at the moment, not able to make any big scoring moves. Still sitting in 5th place. She came in here in 4th. And there's one that just went just a bit outside for Emily McCarthy.
It's going to put her at 4:23.
That's a tough one too, because that elevation mule deer is the closest target, and it's got a good bit of light on it.
Yep. Here's our leader. I mean, nobody's pushing her, Greg, so hey, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't give anything back.
Sharon Wallace with the 10.
4:29.
Yeah.
Kaylee's going to slip back a little bit here.
Yeah, she threw that one high. So now instead of 2 archers 2 points behind Cara Kelly, she's only going to have Sharon Wallace.
4:27 now for Kaylee Pettifer.
So what happens is in each arrow, the archers rotate from position. So for Kaylee Pettifer, she goes from our Bow Doodle Impala and then rotates across the field to our stand turkey. So 4:31 to 4:29 to 4:27, 23, and Kilburn now just a point away from Emily McCarthy to try to get herself back into 4th place contention. 2 arrows left to go in regulation. Any archer that's within 10 points of our leader, which could be Cara Kelly, is going to get an opportunity to shoot a 6th arrow. Interesting draw cycle from Cara Kelly. 2 finger, and then she rolls into that 3rd finger on her back tension release.
No shaking, just
Okay, that looks like though she caught the 10 line.
I think so.
That's going to be a restart the heart moment.
There's Sharon. She just can't catch those rings. Yeah, she just looked up. Yeah. Just off of it. All right, we're going to come around to Kaylee Pettifer. Looks like she's a little tall again.
Again on the turkey, yeah. Make no mistake of how difficult it is to judge. Ooh, and you actually did see just a smidge of a bobble, just a little bit of a bobble there. So I don't really think that that's going to be like a distance judging. But a lot of archers who judge distance in here think it's really difficult because it's just a flat ground with nothing between you and the target.
And if you're used to looking at these targets with trees all around, regardless of the ground, that can make them look closer or farther just because there's no reference.
Yep.
I don't think those little plastic bushes help much, Greg.
Oh, they don't?
I don't think so.
8 for Emily McCarthy. So could that move Emily back to 5th place? And with Kilburn, I believe she had a 10. So it might switch the order. We'll see once our scores reset. I think it's in.
Oh,
I think
that's got to be it.
It's touching the line.
I've been wrong before.
As a part-time 3D shooter and most-time spot shooter, I'm giving that one a 10.
There it is.
Yeah.
Scott just made it official.
Yeah, my opinion has nothing to do with any scoring whatsoever.
I think Cara just sighed in relief.
She did.
Yeah, what do we have? Oh, we know
Sharon Wallace. Yeah, middle.
She shot the 10. So
Okay, so here we go to our final arrow of our regulation. Cara Kelly started off on the stand turkey. She went to the elevation mule deer, Shibuya coyote, gold tip boar, and now lands in the Bo Doodle Impala. Who's going to be within 10 points of Cara Kelly after this arrow? Right now, everyone is.
It's Melissa Kilburn. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so 41, yeah. So Emily McCarthy is on the bubble right now with that 10. Kilburn has moved herself back into 4th place, now just 3 behind Pettifer.
So, Cara is on a closer target than Sharon. And she's also on one that's easier to aim on, in my opinion.
Right.
The Bo Doodle Impala, I think, is easier to aim at.
I think if Kaylee Pettifer on the elevation mule deer, if she can see the 14, she might go for that as well and try to move up the leaderboard.
Oh, Cara got it.
Cara Kelly did. She got a 12. She did.
Kaylee did not shoot at the 14.
Okay.
She did call upper, so I think she got that. Now Sharon, what did Sharon do? Sharon used to play all uppers. I don't know if she still does that, but that's looks like a lower arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's going to be out of the 10 range.
That's an 8. That's a big swing between her and Cara.
Yep.
It's going to give her 447.
First and foremost, we're looking for anyone who's within 10 points of the leader.
That's going to be a 12 for Kaylee.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh. Guess what, Greg?
She's going to move herself into 2nd place.
That's going to give us a tie.
Oh. Somebody's got a tie on bonus rings. Pettifer at 6, Sharon Wallace with 8. Coming into this deal. Yeah.
Melissa Kilburn, good for her. 444. Just wide there.
For Sharon Wallace, or sorry, for Emily McCarthy.
Yep.
On the gold tip. Boar. And now we'll go to Cara Kelly on the Bo Doodle Impala. I think she smoked a 12.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, didn't call that upper. Got that 12.
Yes, it is.
There'll be a huge difference going into the final arrow is what PJ's talking about.
Emily McCarthy there getting the hug because she is going to be, that's going to be the end for her. She's going to finish 5th.
So Wallace and Pettifer tied at 447 apiece. Kilburn within that 10-point range. So Emily McCarthy will leave in 5th place. And now it's all about this last chance archery, last chance arrow. It's not only an this is the hardest thing about if you're a leader, especially in this category, because they're going to bring this out and they're also going to say, okay, we're going to be shooting from this spot. And now judge again, set your sight again, and go for it again.
Just when you get calibrated to the targets that are here, now you got a new one. And Scott Parrott can move them to different places so they're not shooting at the same angle.
And that's the Delta McKenzie Blessbach.
It is the Blessbach.
So one thing to note that some people might not know is that when we come to an event here at the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour, each of these ranges that are set up, how many ranges do we have this weekend? 16, 17?
It's somewhere in there.
Okay, so let's just, it's in the teens.
Yes.
It's in the mid to high teens. Each one of those ranges, after the event's over, goes up for sale. Sold, and you get brand new cores.
Correct. Yeah, so those cores that have been shot at all weekend, you're going to get a replacement.
So if you're a club or you're somebody who wants to make an investment in your 3D archery and buy yourself 20 targets, I think you can buy 5
You
and
can
10.
buy half
You can buy
a target?
10.
Yeah.
Yep. You can buy 10 or 20 targets, and you'll get them at a, especially if you get a pro range. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff that's shot outside the core.
Right,
you know. But that's one way to do it.
And it's a good way because if you're going to shoot ASA competition, there is a benefit to shooting the ASA targets. Just getting used to them. You know where to aim. If you're judging, you know what their size looks like. All kinds of benefits.
And the other thing too is come out and shoot. You know, PJ, I don't get to shoot ASA 3D very often, but I shot team round, you shot team round, and in preparation for team round, there's a practice bag area where you're shooting, and someone gave me a tip that has literally transformed my 3D archery, and is the focused ring. It's the focus trick, and basically what you do is you get on target with your binos, and you're in focus, then you just go out of focus, in focus, out of focus, in focus. And what that does is it really showed me where some dark areas were and gave me a point to aim. And then luckily I found it right before, somebody told me right before team round, and it completely transformed the way I looked at all the 3D targets and shot. But what I'm saying is the only way you know things like that is to come shoot with people, shoulder to shoulder, have conversations, and it's a great way to learn tips and tricks and how to be better at 3D archery.
I've learned so much. I have a lot of tips. I'm unable to put them into use just because I'm not very good. But
me too.
I have
but
good
theory,
information.
Yeah, in theory, I know what I should be doing.
All right, Melissa Kilburn.
She's judged. She set her sight.
She's got that little button on her nose there, Greg. That helps her get aligned precisely the same way every time, touching her nose.
And also she has the blinder for her left eye, so it could be an eye dominance issue. Unfortunately, that one drifted out wide on her last chance archery, last chance arrow.
That's just, isn't that the second person we saw shoot way over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was going for the 14, and so it just drifted a little bit wide. And again, we don't really know. That might have been a really difficult 14 to see.
I mean, I think, Greg, on all those black targets like that one, the boar, where there's not much, I think they're all hard to see.
Without question. And the way the 14 is, it starts to, it's up high enough on the Blessbach that it starts to kind of bend away from you as well. And with the way the lighting is, it kind of puts a really weird lighting on the 14 ring. All right, this really is an important arrow to decide.
Yes, it is.
The podium and where Kaylee Pettifer will land on that podium.
Oh, she just missed it. She went for it.
She wasn't happy with the shot either. We don't see her do a lot of English in the years I've watched her shoot.
No.
That one looks like it. Could it catch the 8 is the question.
Yeah.
But what it's done with Sharon Wallace, because Wallace was, was higher on bonus rings, is now it gives Wallace an opportunity to come up with a strategy that literally could have changed if that was an 8 or a 5.
So now she's 6 points behind Cara Kelly.
Yep. If she shoots a 5, she would tie with Pettifer, but she would be in second place on bonus rings alone. So Foam gets her second place. So what do? You gun for it?
She's going for a safe 12 is going to be my guess.
Safe 12. All right, I'm pulling for Sharon to just throw caution to the wind and just get after that 14.
You think so?
I don't know. I mean, Sharon has at times been aggressive. You know what I mean? At times, she's done the thing that's going to get her this really solid result. But at this point, any Foam gets her second place. So I say just gun for the 14 and put the pressure on Cara Kelly. But what do I know?
Oh, straight left.
I think she was going for it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And honestly, I don't blame her. Yeah, I think that's the move.
Yeah.
Right. Cara's still got to execute a shot. I mean, I'm just saying.
So that's Cara just needs to hit Foam.
Okay, so that's needs to hit Foam. Yeah. So 455. So at this moment, Sharon Wallace has got a 2-point lead.
But you're going to have to shoot and get at least 5 points. You ready? We'll start your 1 minute now.
Favorite part of Mike Terrell's job, heckling archers.
The reigning shooter of the year right there.
No problem. Foam is all she needed.
And it's at least a 10. I don't know if that was a 12.
It's
10. There
10.
you go. It's a 10.
Yeah.
All right. There you have it. Congratulations to Cara Kelly.
So interesting. We had such an incredible pro pressure point shoot down, but at the end of the day, when it all sorted itself out, it was the same order of which we came in. It was Cara Kelly, your #1 qualifier. She wins it from Sharon Wallace in second, Kaylee Pettifer in third. Melissa Kilburn was able to work her way back up, and Emily McCarthy. I think Cara just picked some random kid from the audience.
Yeah, that's one of her sons there.
Oh, I see.
And so he was super happy that Mom won. She's going to bring him into the interview.
I hope so.
There he goes.
So Cara Kelly making her way to the headset, so we'll get a quick conversation with her. Hey, is she gonna put it on him? Is he gonna do the interview for her?
There you go. She doesn't have two hands.
Can you help me?
Come on, Mom only has one hand. Right there, Cara.
Cara, did you just grab some random kid from the audience? Like, what's going on here?
No, this is my youngest, Jace, and he really didn't hurt his head. He just likes Band-Aids.
Sure. Well, listen, congratulations. That was quite a battle going on behind you. How did you keep your composure during that one?
You know, I don't even know. I looked up and started counting points at the end because I was just so focused on trying to make good shots and trying to get a 12 on that last one to move a little bit and aimed really aggressive at it. And what a shoot down. I mean, it was crazy. I think we all kind of struggled a little bit with numbers, and yeah, but it was fun for sure.
2023 Shooter of the Year in this class, Cara, and then you come out and start 2024 with a win. What does that do for your confidence going into the season?
It's more than I could have ever asked for. I live in the Great White North, and you know, obviously this time of year we can't get outside and shoot a lot of targets, but we try to every chance we get. But yeah, it just feels great to come down here and get the win, and you know, just really tried to roll on some confidence from last year. I'm shooting the same bow, and yeah, so blessed to be here for sure.
Well, you did it. Congratulations on the big win right out of the gate, setting the tone for the rest of the year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Nah, that was good.
Congratulations, Cara.
All right, so Cara Kelly brings home the top prize here at the Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. In this first one, the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am from Foley, Alabama, the Pro Pressure Point Shootdown, and the victory goes to Cara Kelly from Michigan. We have more archery coming at you. Open Pro on deck. Don't go anywhere.
Paige Pierce, your Women's Open Pro champion. Open Pro champ, Bodie Turner. And our champion, Casey Koffel, LAS Classic champ, Brady Ellison.
Jyoti Venom takes the win.
Nick Cappers, Classic Open Pro champ.
Thank you for calling Lancaster Archery Supply. This is Jasmine. How can I help you?
For the last 3 years, I've been a team lead here in the customer service department at Lancaster Archery. This is our handbook that guides everything we do on the phones. I wrote it myself.
Call or message our Lancaster Archery customer service reps with all your questions or to place your orders. We promise they'll be polite.
Ryan Jeffries, Mr. Ryan Reed, Chris Hacker, Alan Connor, Benny Barger, and your #1 qualifier from Voorheesville, New York, Jacob Sluzard.
I thought I could hang with these guys, and I wanted to prove that, but winning after 5 tournaments it's a lot.
Sub 4 pounds, 8 feet per second faster. Our goal wasn't just light and fast. It was how light and how fast.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, Tony, we just got a new site in. We need a product video on it ASAP. I got an appointment. I'm not gonna be able to do it. You're gonna have to do it.
I have 50 other things to do today, and I have to do your job too. This is a sight. You put it on a bow. It has 3 pins for aiming. Is that good enough?
Shop Lancaster Archery Supply for all your archery needs. We've got the gear, we've got the knowledge, we've got the passion.
The X10 is the most successful arrow in competitive archery history, accounting for far more medals than any other individual piece of sporting equipment in Olympic history. Easton introduces the latest innovation of the X10 lineup, the 4mm Parallel Pro. Parallel Pro offers legendary X10 precision for all forms of archery. Elevate your precision. Your journey to the podium begins with Easton X10.
This baby's bad.
For more info on the complete 2024 Elite lineup, visit EliteArchery.com.
Hey, Tony. Wanted to see if you had a couple minutes to go over the new features of the UV slider sight.
I know more than you.
Got a question about archery
We
products?
can help you get a target bow. Are you looking to get into an Olympic style setup or bare bow setup?
Our customer service and pro shop teams have all the
We'll get
answers.
these shipped out very shortly for you.
Hey, we're here in Foley, Alabama. Beautiful weather. Just enjoying some time with some friends and shooting our bows, hitting foam.
In here, this just looks more like home from North Georgia for me, so I feel like these lanes are a little more normal. Out there, I tend to underjudge. I guess because it's open, and I don't know why my tendency is to underjudge.
Two buddies on the board at the same time. Ain't nothing better than that.
Welcome back to the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour, and our first round is the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside PJ Riley. And PJ, here is our standings for the Open Pro category, and it's Levi Morgan and Jack Wallace and Brady Myers, and this is about as tight as I've seen it before.
4 points, top to bottom there, Greg, and some of the best shooters in the world at this unknown distance game. This is going to be a horse race. I can't wait to watch it.
We're in the Foley Event Center here in Foley, Alabama for the Pro Pressure Point Shootdown. These 5 came off the range in the top 5 positions, and they're going to be shooting 5 arrows to decide who's going to be the champ. However, there's a bit of a caveat. It's not just 5 arrows, kind of.
Could be a 6th. At the end, anyone who is within 10 points of the leader will shoot a 6th arrow if we need it.
But we're ready to get things going, so let's get to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Nathan Brooks, who has our archers ready to go.
Okay, let's do this one last time tonight. Open Pro Division. In 5th place from Richfield, Pennsylvania, 2 years shooting pro, shooting for Darton, Adam Winey. And in 4th place from Wazeeka, Wisconsin, 21 years shooting as a pro, shooting a Matthews bow, Dan McCarthy. And in third place from East Berlin, Pennsylvania, 2-year shooting pro, your third place qualifier, shooting a PSE bow, Brady Myers. And in second place from Townville, South Carolina, 30 years shooting pro, shooting a PSE bow, Jack Wallace. And your number 1 qualifier from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, 18 years shooting pro, shooting a Matthews, Levi Morgan.
All right, so here we go, PJ. They judged distance a little while ago, and our leader, Levi Morgan, is going to kick us off on a stand turkey. Then we have the elevation mule deer, Shibuya coyote, gold tip boar, and the Bowdoodle impala. And our second target, the elevation mule deer, is definitely the closest one, and it looks like, from our perspective, that gold tip boar is the furthest poke away. Can't give you distances. This is the unknown class.
We're looking at Adam Winey. We were looking at Adam Winey there. First shoot off for him. There's Adam Winey right there, making the shoot off. That's his career highlight, he said. And we saw Brady Myers down at the other end, his first shoot off as well. So welcome to the big stage to those guys.
Adam Winey finishing 5th place in the 2023 Rookie of the Year in the Open Pro category. Second medal, 10.
That was Dan McCarthy shooting at that gold tip boar. He's going to be happy with that 10.
Levi Morgan, and one of the strongest natural shots we have in archery. So a 10. This just has the feeling that every point makes a difference.
Levi is our reigning champion from this event last year. He won it here. It's Jack Wallace.
Jack Wallace.
Elevation mule deer.
Out left.
442. Jack Wallace, best mustache in archery.
Brady Myers, his first shoot down as well. Indicates to us that he's a little nervous, but he called upper and he got the upper.
How about that?
For Myers, smokes a 12. And hey, that's gonna put him, that could put him in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, come on, there's a guy, Brady Myers, first shoot down ever, next to Dan McCarthy, who's been in a million.
Yep. So we'll see now Adam Winey.
Dan did take a 10 on that boar, on the gold tip boar.
And a 10 for Adam. So, listen, if my math is correct, Myers is going to lead this thing after the first arrow by a point.
We have a new leader.
That's how tight this is. Yeah, how was your Saturday? Well, there's a guy named Levi Morgan and Dan McCarthy. They were behind me after the first arrow. Jack Wallace as well. All right, so now the archers rotate. So for Winey, who came in here, in the last position, he rotates to the stand turkey, which is our target furthest to the left. Levi Morgan is just to the left of Jack Wallace, who's the left part of your screen as we watch these two archers. That's the Shibuya coyote on the left bottom part, and the gold tip boar furthest away from where these archers are standing.
Brady just missed left, or
Myers,
right, excuse me.
Myers, it looks like he's going to catch a 10. And Jack Wallace, he called upper.
He called upper.
Called upper 12, and it looks like he got it. Danny McCarthy with a big sigh of relief. So we're going to go to Adam.
Here we go. All right.
Stand turkey 10. to Levi Morgan on the Elevation Mule Deer.
Here we go.
I think that's a
gonna be
question.
12.
Yeah, it's a 12. He didn't call up.
There it is. Yep. 446 for Levi Morgan.
So he should retake the lead. I think Meyer shot a 10.
Here's a look at Jack Wallace on the Shibuya Coyote. Yeah. 444.
So
Jack Wallace.
He'll still be 3 points behind Levi Morgan. 10 for Brady Myers.
So he's 1 point behind Levi now. What do we got here?
Dan McCarthy was on the Bodoodle Impala.
There's a 10.
10.
Okay. 442. All right, so Greg, Levi, 446. Brady Myers, 445. Jack Wallace, 444. Dan McCarthy, 442. Adam Winey, 440.
443 for Jack.
Oh, excuse me, for Jack,
Yeah.
443.
443 with 19 bonus rings for him. Still keeps him in the same position. In third place. Just a single point over Dan McCarthy. Brady Myers. Could this be the next new face of the Open Pro division? Let's get a good look at his shot.
Oh, and he called upper. He did.
Levi called upper. Jack Wallace has called upper as well. Just off to the right, a little low.
Jack was shooting at the gold tip bore. I haven't seen Levi. Levi's. I don't think he
Levi's
got
on
that
Shibuya
12.
Coyote?
Yeah, I don't know if he got that. Here's Dan on the stand turkey.
12.
Got it.
For the 2023 Open Pro Shooter of the Year.
454. Come around to Adam, took a stab at the 14. Man, that's close.
That one's going to hurt too.
No. I don't think so. Nope. 8. Good try, Adam.
Yep.
Right there at it. So that's what we're talking about, Greg, as far as precision of your judging. He was likely a yard off. Another yard, he might have caught that.
10 for Jack Wallace.
453.
Oh, so it's Levi who got 10, Jack got 10.
Levi got 10.
Yeah, sorry about that.
456. And Jack is at 453. Brady Myers.
He called upper 12 as well.
Let's see this.
On the Bodoodle Impala.
Because I think he got it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got that. He'll retake the lead.
457, 1 point.
It's a draft and pass
Greg.
battle on the high banks in Foley, Alabama.
This is what we like to see, back and forth.
And it's still, I mean, the top 4 are only spread apart by 4 points.
These guys are so good, and you see these bonus rings they're hitting. And remember, they don't know how far they are.
They've already had time to judge, so they have a mark that's on a piece of paper. So what Dan McCarthy's doing is he's looking to see, okay, exactly where do I need to aim, where do I need to hit? And we have been told over and over again today that it is difficult lighting. However, after our first 4 classes were done, we reset the targets in terms of distance, and that has definitely given some of the targets out here a different look.
Yeah. I saw Levi squinting. He's looking down at that gold tip bore, so he was having trouble seeing it.
Yeah,
There's
he's going to have
Dan
to just kind of
McCarthy.
go off experience and feel, right?
This is at the elevation mule deer. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 14 play here from Dan. Yep, but he was low. Just missed it.
I just like the risk, though. You know, it's the closest target.
Yep.
It's a tough one to swallow, but you know, if he had hit exactly where he had hit, if it was a 12, he would have been thinking to himself, man, I should have gone for the 14, right?
So Brady takes a 10 there, so he's going to stay at 467. Now Dan's going to slip a little bit. He's going to take an 8 here. It's going to move him to 462. And now we have Shibuya Coyote.
That's going to be Whiny.
Yeah.
Adam Whiny. Another one. Another one.
Can't see.
Just a bit outside. Oh, I don't know. I think he got it. I think he got it. Yeah, all he's got to do is be touching that outer line, and that is what we call pulling a line.
That is it.
I mean, look, we're not the judges here.
No.
But if I'm a bet man.
Here we go. There it is. Oh, he got an 8. So close. Craig, I thought I was going to see a 14.
Me too. He's got a better look
No,
at it. They have the flashlight out, right?
Yep.
Like, you know, you have the magnifying glasses. So even though it pulled that line, as long if it didn't touch, it just has to touch.
Scott will tell you we see it flat. All right, Levi takes a 10 there, but Scott Parrott tells us we see it flat on the screen. He looks up, down, side to side. He can see it from all angles.
Well, unless Jack Wallace smoked a 14 here, if he did, he's going to take over the lead. You went for it?
Yeah, he did.
Didn't get it.
Did
but
not get it. 8.
It was an 8. It wasn't the worst damage done, right?
No.
Like the 5. But had Jack hit that, he would have taken the lead over by a single point over Brady Myers. But here we are. We're in a situation where we are at our final regulation arrow. Levi Morgan has now moved all the way from the Stand Turkey, the Elevation Mule, the Shibuya Coyote, Gold Tip Boar to the Bodoodle Impala. And he is 1 point behind the first time Pro Pressure Point Shootdown player Brady Myers.
He's got the shortest target on the field.
Brady does. So the question is, do you lay up or do you go for it? Do you go for that 12? And he's going first. Like,
he called upper.
And he's getting after it. Guy, he's got nerves of steel.
Levi's waiting.
They're waiting.
He got it.
He got it.
He smoked it.
Okay, so Levi.
He's got to go 14.
Well, he's got to go 14 to take the lead. Remember, there's still one arrow left if they're within 10 points.
But I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for it.
I think he goes for 12. Oh, Levi goes middle.
Center. Wow, I thought he was going to go for it.
Now with the final arrow, Brady was shooting last, right?
Yeah.
On the last chance archery, last chance arrow.
Dan, long hold.
Way out right.
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, that was Dan on the Shibuya Coyote, and it went way right, like 5-ring, I think, or 5. All right, so the situation is that now Levi is going to have to go for the 14.
Yeah. Greg, there was a lot of stuff that happened there that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a 10.
471 for Jack.
Okay. This kid. Come on.
Called the upper, smoked the
Bam.
upper, and 12.
479. Just look at Dan. No.
5 out wide.
467 for Dan McCarthy.
That looks like that'll take him off the box. And it's going to take him out
There
of
we
this.
go.
Nice.
Good for you, Adam. 470.
Yeah. 468.
Oh, he had a 456. Yeah, you're right. 468.
Levi goes 10.
Math is hard, Greg.
I
Sorry.
understand. I understand. We're going to go 76.
All right.
Brady Myers leads the way. 479. Levi 476. Jack Wallace at a 71. Adam Winey and Dan McCarthy are out of the 10-point range. And so they are going to finish in 4th and 5th place. And so it's going to be down to 3 to decide the podium. Right? Am I doing math
You are
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yes. Adam's going to finish 4th. Dan McCarthy's going to finish 5th.
They hadn't moved yet, so I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're bringing out, for the final time of round 1, Hoyt Easton Pro-Am here in Foley, Alabama. Our first round of the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. The Blessbach comes out. And tell us what happens right now.
Okay, so he just put it into a spot in the middle of the field, did our judge, and now Scott Parrott's up there. He's going to pick a shooting position. We don't know where. The archers will then be given a minute to judge, to stand there and look and see what they can come up with, and then we're going to shoot. Jack Wallace first, Levi Morgan second, Brady Myers third, and Greg, you're Brady Myers sitting here thinking, I've got a 3-point lead over the winningest ASA 3D Archer Open Pro of all time in my first shoot down.
Pretty incredible.
I can't. He looks pretty cool. I can't, but like the duck on top of the water and the feet underneath, I can't imagine what he's feeling inside.
2-year shooting pro, East Berlin, Pennsylvania. Somebody from PSC said, you know what, I think this is a good acquisition.
Yeah.
Got him on staff, his first shoot off. The potential.
I talked to him some last year, and he's just a quiet kid, good shooter, and now he's, took a year in that Open Pro class, found his way, and here he is.
And this is one of those situations where you're in the driver's seat. You have Jack Wallace, who's going to shoot first with a 71. You have Levi Morgan, who's going to shoot the last chance archery, last chance arrow second. And then Myers is going to be able to assess the situation and then really think about that risk reward.
Yeah.
And it's favorite arrow time. What's your favorite arrow?
Pull him out.
Blessbach. 14 ring, pretty standard size, big.
On the Blessbach.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to look at it. It's a hair bigger than the 12. Just a smidge. I don't know what the technical definition of a smidge is,
yeah, I
but
think that's right, yeah.
It's just a little bit bigger. But, this is the Blessbach black target.
Kind of in a smooth area
yeah.
is the 14, so I don't think really 14 is the play here for these archers. I think Jack is going to take the most risk.
Yeah.
Because he's got the most ground he needs to gain. But like I said, it's all really on the shoulders of Brady Myers assessing the situation and really kind of having to decide. And this is where playing the game makes a huge difference. Understanding how to play the game. It's not just shot execution. It's where am I aiming? How good can I see? How confident I am on my marks?
Yeah. I'm very close to the scores, but Levi was in basically the same exact position last year at this tournament with Dan McCarthy ahead of him, and he shot a 14. Dan missed the 14. Levi ended up winning. So I will be shocked if Jack doesn't go for the 14. I'll be shocked if Levi doesn't go for the 14. Levi doesn't care about second place.
Go. Last chance archery, last chance arrow. Jack Wallace in third place, trying to improve his position. His clock hasn't started yet. It starts now. He's got 1 full minute.
Look at him. He's trying to see,
And he's got some beefy binos too, so got good magnification power on those things. Checking his feet.
Shooting a hinge, I believe, too. I'm used to seeing Jack Wallace shoot an index finger at least. I don't believe he's shooting a thumb. Little bobble. Oh! Just, I think he missed it. He did. Wow.
Yep.
He had the left and right just a little much on the yardage.
And that's the play, though.
Good try, Jack.
Yep. He had to. And he knows, you know, for Jack, he came in here in second place, but I mean, it was just a couple points, right? Like 1 point for Jack in second place. He's going to slip his way to third.
Yep. Hey.
Well, we don't know that yet, actually.
Yeah.
Well, on bonus runs, right, with Levi.
I mean,
so Jack
Levi
had 18,
could.
18 coming in. Levi had 15. So, you know, barring a full-on miss, which would be something we haven't seen from Levi, right? So anything in the foam, and Levi guarantees himself at least second place. The question is, how much is he going to risk? I mean, I think, like we've talked about it before, Levi has to go for the 14. That's it. That's his only option at this point.
Yeah.
He's 3 points back. You have to say that Myers can shoot a 10.
Foam, and he stays where he is.
That's right. So why not just go for the 14?
Oh,
again.
Come on.
Does it again.
Come on.
Again.
No.
Last year, he was in 5th place and able to win it on a 14. And now all the pressure on the young Myers.
Now I understand why Darren Kirchberry last year said, "Are you kidding me?"
All right,
Come
so
on.
Here's the situation for Brady Myers. It's 12. I mean, 14's in play, obviously, for the win. But the smart play right now is go for the 12, and he is going for the upper. You move that cone to the upper. If there's 112 in the back pocket for Brady Myers, this is the time to get it. A 10, and he's second by 1 point. A 12, and he will win it.
I can't even imagine the nerves. Can't even imagine.
He's cool. He's cool cucumber right here. Does he pull off the miracle arrow?
He got it! Oh, he got it!
How about that? In his debut shoot-off in the Open Pro after only, this is the beginning of his second season as an Open Pro. It's Brady Myers from East Berlin, Pennsylvania, who, when he needed that 12, he didn't just barely get the 12. He put a stamp on it.
That is as clutch as it gets. Brady Myers, there he is, Brady Myers. That is one of the most clutch arrows I've ever seen. Walk me through it. How was that?
Oh, very nerve-wracking. So I pretty much picked two numbers. If he hit the 14, I was going with the risky number, and that was the one. So I just made a good shot and was able to hit that 12.
I'm just curious, how'd your bubble look on that shot? Were there white caps in it? Were you shaking?
I don't even know. I didn't even look at the bubble.
Well, that was incredible. So, look, this is the beginning of your second year in this category. I mean, where does this rank in victories for your life in terms of just accomplishments right now?
This is definitely my best accomplishment so far.
How does it feel to sit some of the biggest names in the sport? Levi Morgan, Jack Wallace, Danny McCarthy.
It feels good.
Well, listen, man, it's time for you to relax, let the adrenaline dump out, because you're going to want to take a nap in about 30 minutes. But, man, let it sink in. Congratulations for the first round of 2024. You're the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am Open Pro Champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, how about that? Brady Myers storms onto the scene, cool as a cucumber. He had his plan set for his last arrow. And P.J. Riley, he gets it done. Your thoughts on the weekend?
Unbelievable. That is the perfect capper to this pro competition this weekend. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, Greg.
Well, we had incredible shooting in our 6 pro categories. So we are rolling for the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. Round 1, the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am from Foley, Alabama is done and dusted. It's in the books. And guess what? March 23rd. We get to do it all over again in a place that you know as Fort Benning from Russell County, Alabama. We can't wait to see you there. Talk to you soon.